get triggered. What's up, everybody?
Hey, why are you guys still wearing masks? I thought that we were gonna flatten the curve in 2 weeks. I guess that was over a year ago, right? Since when do we need the government's permission to breathe oxygen? Oh, this was a free country. Since when do we have lockdowns? I'm not 12 anymore, I don't have a curfew. I thought that was a prison term, lockdown. You guys just gonna keep wearing them until they tell you can take them off? All hell Biden, he said we can breathe oxygen again as long as we get genetically modified. You guys look like zombies. You know you're allowed to breathe oxygen. You don't need the government's permission. That's dumb. Oh, we're gonna flatten the curve in 2 weeks, guys. Just 2 weeks, we'll get back to normal in 2 weeks. That was over a year ago. That's not weird. The government just loves you and they want to help you. Yeah, they all started scanning your wrist and forehead and made you identify yourself to buy, sell, and trade. They're getting you ready for the mark. No big deal though. We gotta post a pic for the gram. Polo G about to drop that heat. Who cares, right? Are we gonna like stand up for our rights until, or are we just gonna wait until they're not here anymore? What's that?
Get a better view there. I understand what this man's talking about. Have a better view in the world. Get your rights right. Stop wearing a mask when he said so. Because if a black guy's not going to tell you the same thing, please listen to the white guy. Because if y'all ain't going to listen to what I'm saying, listen to what he's saying. If you ain't going to listen to what he's saying, who the fuck y'all going to listen to?
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't need the government's permission to breathe oxygen. You have something called lungs. That's what keeps you alive. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you have lungs, and they require oxygen to keep you alive. Since when do we need the government's permission to breathe oxygen? Yeah, that seems legit. I thought this was a free country. When do we get lockdowns? You guys are just gonna chill till we literally are robots in a new world order. This guy must be a conspiracy. I can't even talk about everything to do with what they're rushing out, or my YouTube channel will get terminated. What a free country we live in. Yeah, all hell Biden. We live in Nazi Germany now. All hell Biden. He said that we can breathe oxygen as long as we take what they give us. And don't get it twisted, Trump's a psycho too. Every single US president tracks back to English royalty and they're all related. Oh, that's probably just a coincidence. You guys just gonna walk around like slaves until the government tells you don't have to be a slave anymore? Newsflash, they're not gonna say that. Can anybody name one time the government got lots of power and then they're like, you know what, let's give it back to the people? That's not how it worked. You guys just gonna be scared of the air until they tell you can breathe again? That's dumb. And not medical advice, but they're not even good for you. I can't get into specifics, I'll get terminated off YouTube. That's interesting. So why are you guys still wearing it? I thought they said you didn't have to. How about this? We'll all throw them in the trash on the count of 3, right? Because teamwork makes the dream work. Toss them in the trash. You exhale toxins, would you want to cycle that in and breathe it all day? Hypoxia, HYPOXIA. We just get our medical advice from the government, duh. Because the government loves you. That's why they put fluoride in water, to make sure you had a pretty smile. Yeah. You know who else they gave fluoride to? People in concentration camps. It makes you docile. No big deal. I think we got till 1. I'm not going to interrupt these guys' music. Chill. So why are you guys wearing masks? I don't get it. They said that we're going to flatten the curve in 2 weeks. That was over a year ago. Well, I go in every single place in this entire United States without wearing a mask, sir. I just went to the White House. White House gift shop, didn't wear one. I've been everywhere. I don't ever wear one. You're just making excuses because it's just easier to wear one and comply. I think that's what the people in Germany did till they turned around and they had no rights. At least as what, you know, official history says. Yeah, isn't that what happened? Isn't that what happened live, chat? 98% of people voted for Adolf Hitler, and then when people went around trying to say, yo, the government's taking over, we had all the little slaves attacking them like you guys attacked me while I walked down the streets, and then you turned around, you had no freedom left. You guys don't realize that every country in the world agreed that they're going to shut down the same day? You think that's not sketchy? Dang, I'm just going to have to hit y'all with the real red pills then, because y'all look dead. You guys still wearing the mask. Let's do it. This is where you guys check it. They lied about the Earth. The Earth is not a magic spinning cartoon ball in a vacuum. That defies physics. I'm offering $100 cash to anyone who can answer 3 questions about the globe Earth model that is fake. $100 cash. $100 cash to anyone who can answer 3 questions correctly about the globe Earth. The first question is the easiest one I could come up with. How many times does the globe Earth spin in one day? $100 cash. Because I know for a fact the Earth's not a ball that spins in a vacuum, but you think I'm crazy for not believing in it. So just come get the $100 and show me you actually even know what you believe in. You don't. $100 if you get it right. The Earth is not a ball. Oh, but NASA went to the moon in 1969 and proved it. They just can't go back. And this is super important, by the way. You guys think you came from monkeys and you're a tiny speck of dust, and that's why you blindly believe the government. All right, cool. How many times does the globe Earth? How many times the globe Earth?
0.
No, it spins 1 time according to the globe Earth.
0. You're wrong.
No.
What? You preach a kid?
Yeah, it's called axial rotation. You don't even know your own religion.
Listen, brother. Listen to me.
The globe Earth says it spins 1 time every day.
Why don't you start a worship here? Talk.
I'm talking on the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Good luck to you, boy, right here, though.
I'm sorry you don't know. Okay, but anyway, I have 5-year-olds that get that question right. How many times does the globe Earth spin in every 24 hours? The answer is once, not 0. What that guy say? Yeah, we'll be off at 1. We're not going to interrupt you at 1. Anyway, I'll change the first question since we've said it on the mic. Here's another super easy one. According to the official narrative, what shape is the Earth? Is it a sphere or is it pear-shaped? I'm telling you the answer before you come up here. You can Google it on your dumb phone. $100 cash, no strings attached. It's not like you gotta pay me if you don't get it right. $100 cash. So I guess I'll give you guys a history lesson since you're scared to come up here and get the bread. So in 1969, NASA supposedly went to the moon. We just can't go back. World-renowned astronaut Don Pettit, official quote, verbatim quote. I would go back to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we destroyed that technology and it's a painful process to build it back. We can't rebuild technology from the 60s. I guess we're fresh out of Nazis. That's why we can't go back, because something called Operation Paperclip is declassified. You can look it up yourself once again. And that's where we brought Nazi scientists over here. I thought we hated Nazis. We brought Nazi scientists over here in Operation Paperclip. We took an SS officer by the name of Werner von Braun and put him in charge of space exploration. So I guess we're just fresh out of Nazis. That's why we can't go back. If you still believe in the moon landing, you need to wake up. And the reason this is important is because they told you you're a tiny speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe where everything came from nothing. Lightning struck primordial soup. Rocks turned into fish that were like, man, this water's whack. They jumped out, grew some feet, turned into rodents that turned into apes that turned into humans. None of that's true. That's all pseudoscientific nonsense. The Earth doesn't move. Do you feel like you're moving? No. Unless you've been drinking tequila. And then you lay down and you get the spins. What do they tell you to do to stop spinning? Put your feet on the ground so you stop spinning. That's because the Earth doesn't spin. Oh, no. We don't ever feel it spinning, but I promise it's spinning. And we always see it flat, but I promise it's curving. And we see stuff moving in the sky, but I promise the stuff in the sky is still. It just looks like it. The official model is when you see a sun leave in the distance and then set, it's actually sitting still and you're just falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour. I'll give anyone here $100 cash that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. I've tested it and I've falsified the radius value. Most of you guys don't know what it is, though. They don't teach you that in school. They teach you cartoons about the solar system. By the way, I document the quote-unquote planets all the time. The etymology of planet is a wandering light. It's a wanderer. They're just like the other lights in the sky. They just have a little bit of a different motion, but they all go east to west and reset around Polaris for all recordable history. The Egyptians built megalithic structures that still line up with the same stars they did thousands of years ago. The sky resets right over top of you every single year, but you guys are too busy posting a pic for the gram. That's all that matters. Why are you guys still wearing masks? The government doesn't give you permission to breathe oxygen, my man. That's dumb. You know who else they used to make wear masks? Slaves. What a coincidence. Just a coincidence. It's symbolic of the end of your free speech. So are you guys gonna realize that they're trying to build a new world order, or are you guys gonna call me a conspiracy theorist? You guys are coincidence theorists. I'll show you how. So the people that cast this lie onto the world, they're Luciferian high-level Masons, and under their own admission in their own literature, 33rd degree Masons, they say they're Luciferians. Have you ever heard the number 666? Well, check out how many times the Globe Earth motto has 666 in it, and you tell me who's the conspiracy theorist here. You guys are coincidence theorists, all right? So there's something called the Arctic circles. On the North and South Arctic Circle, that's 66.6 degrees. The diameter of the moon is 2,160, supposedly 238,000 miles away. That's 6 times 6 times 60. The circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is 21,600. That's 6 times 6 times 600. Supposedly in 1666, Isaac Newton discovered gravity because an apple fell on his head. What's the number for gravity? 6.66666. Oh, we're on a 66.6 degree tilt wobbling while we go around the sun 66,600 miles per hour with a curvature rate of 0.666 feet per mile squared. You guys are coincidence theorists. It's a joke. It's a joke. But I'm crazy because I don't believe the Earth's a magic spinning ball in a vacuum and you don't even know what you believe in yet. I'm offering $100 cash to anybody that gets the 3 basic questions right. $100 cash. My point is, in doing this, is showing if you think I'm crazy for not believing in it, but I know everything about it and you know nothing about it, who's really crazy? It's like if I go into church and someone says the Bible's real, but they've never read Genesis before. That's a cool story, bro, but I'm gonna keep it pushing. $100 cash. No one ever wins the money. Answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. All right. Yeah, it's worth a try, right? Yeah, of course. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours? Once. That's right. How far away is the sun? Yeah, it's all good. 93 million miles away. That's actually changed 6 times in the last century, though. They just make up new numbers every few years. Yeah, the Earth's not a ball in a vacuum, my man. But thanks for playing. At least somebody came up here.
What's the third question? Yeah, what was the third question?
I usually just make them up.
Well, what are you about?
What's the circumference of the Earth?
66.6.
That's a decent guess, though. 24,901 miles. Yeah, and I'm gonna give people like 25,000, whatever's close, you know. So no one will come up here and win the $100. It's no big deal. But my point is, if you think I'm crazy for not thinking it's a ball, you should at least know what it supposedly is, right? Oh, and by the way, I've actually proven it's not a ball, and so have tens of millions of us. There's 10 million flat earthers in Brazil alone. Oh, we're just some crazy fringe group of conspiracy theorists. That's not true. We're censored in Congress. They admit they censor flat earth because it's quote-unquote dangerous misinformation. You know what's so dangerous about it? That means all the countries are working together. All the governments are working together. That's why it's dangerous. Just like all the governments worked together to shut the whole world down and give us lockdowns and curfews last year. Yeah, they worked together, believe it or not. Hey, take a look at the back of your U.S. dollar bill. It says New World Order on it. You guys think that they're not going to get their New World Order? You guys are still walking around scared of the air. You do whatever they say. Oh, CNN said so. CNN and Fox News are the same thing. You guys are just arguing about the same little psychopathic CIA agents. Something called Operation Mockingbird is declassified. Look it up. It comes from the 70s. They admit the CIA took over the mainstream media. It's literally declassified by your own government that the mainstream media news that you watch is actually run by the CIA. And that news anchors are CIA agents. But the CIA would never lie to us. The government would never lie, right? They just started entire wars like the Vietnam War, and they said Vietnam attacked us. They attacked our ship and we had to go fight them. And now they've come out and admitted that we attacked our own ship, made it look like it was them so we could justify war. Oh, they just slaughtered thousands of people innocently while lying and saying that they attacked us, but the government would never lie. There's something called the Antarctic Treaty. It was signed within 1 year of the founding of NASA. It says that every major world superpower has agreed that you, as a normal U.S. citizen or average citizen of a population, cannot privately explore Antarctica. It's illegal. Well, that's convenient because that's what would prove if the Earth's a ball or not. You'd circumnavigate it north to south and come back up off the ice cap over the other side of a sphere. But it's illegal. It's literally illegal. China, Russia, the U.S., all these enemies, right? Yeah, they agreed you're not allowed to go explore the Earth. Probably another coincidence. Again, you guys call me a conspiracy theorist. The truth is you're a coincidence theorist. Why would I care what someone that's ignorant of the subject thinks? You guys have never even heard of the Antarctic Treaty. So the truth is, this isn't actually a debate of what you think the Earth is. You can test it. It's called geometry. They claim a radius value of 3,959 miles. That means it has to curve at 8 inches per mile squared up to 1,000 miles. Pythagorean theorem, right? So that means that you should see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Simply 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, the square root of 1 is 1. So 1 times 1.225 is 1.225. So 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, you should see the curvature of the Earth 1 mile away, 1.2 miles away. We have an observation off the coast of California, 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, the horizon's over 10 miles away. That would literally require the radius of a ball be 264,000 miles. I thought it was under 4,000 miles. Oh, I wonder why they censor this. I wonder when Neil deGrasse Tyson was supposed to debate Eric Debate, infamous flat earth, and he had to back out of it, even though he agreed on Joe Rogan's podcast. The #1 podcast in the world, by the way. These are all just coincidences. Don't worry about it. So this little crazy psychopathic Nazi, Werner von Braun, an SS officer of the Nazi regime we brought over here to take us to space in the 60s. He also wrote a science fiction book in the 50s. And the main character's name in this science fiction book was Elon. Guess what Elon did in this book? He founded the first civilization on Mars. Sound familiar? 2021, we got a dude named Elon Musk about to take us to Mars. So I guess whenever the Nazi was not busy murdering millions of innocent people, he was also a prophet. You guys are coincidences. Oh, Jules Verne wrote a science fiction book in the late 1800s that predicted the moon mission, exactly where it would shoot from, where it would go, what body of water it would shoot over. They just write science fiction books and then they just tell you it really happened and they just troll you and see how many of you will believe it. So the Earth's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. The Earth is flat, it's stationary, the sky moves over top of you. The necessary antecedent, fancy word for requirement, for gas pressure is container. So you're breathing oxygen, that's how you're alive. Well, at least some of you guys are breathing oxygen. Anyway, okay, it has to be contained. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. I debate astrophysics professors, so anybody here that thinks they got some credentials, come up here and show how stupid the flat earther is, but you'll get scolded. You won't come up here. So it's called the second law of thermodynamics. $100 to anybody that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. And you can come up and ask any question to show that I'm so crazy, but you won't be able to. In a world. So anyway, the Earth is not a spinning ball in a vacuum. There's something called the second law of thermodynamics. It necessitates entropy will increase and pressure will fill the available space because systems seek spontaneous equilibrium. Simply, whenever you have a soda, the reason that it's fresh and carbonated is because it's sealed. So it builds up pressure. It's carbonated, right? That's why your soda's fresh. When you open the soda, what happens? It goes psh, and it equalizes to the lower pressure around it instantly. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. You can't have pressure without a container. You could not have the air pressure that you breathe, or at least some of you guys breathe, sitting next to a vacuum. It would instantly fill the vacuum. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. They claim that space is a vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr. So what they claim space is literal impossible. They could have never gone there. But no big deal. They went in 1969, they just can't go back 50 years later. So they lied to you. You're not a little tiny speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe where everything came from nothing. Some of you guys think you're atheists. There's no such thing as an atheist. Literally, there's no such thing. Atheism is you know for 100% fact that there is no creator. That's what the etymology means. No creator, no deity, no creator. None of you know for a fact that there's no creator. You're not an atheist, you're an agnostic. I hate to break it to you. But most of you guys that claim to be atheists, you think that makes you woke, right? And you're nihilistic and materialistic and just drowning in depravity and apathy. Because they've made all these lies for you. You think you came from rocks and fish and apes. You're so woke, you think you came from apes. Even though the person that proposed it said that could never happen. Anyway, you're not allowed to be a Mason if you're an atheist. They think it's the dumbest ideology ever. So, a lot of you think I'm an atheist and the Big Bang Theory is real. Guess who proposed the Big Bang Theory? A Jesuit priest, a Catholic priest. How ironic.
It disconnected. Did you touch it? I don't know why it disconnected, sorry.
They're already trying to attack the stream. This is how free of a country we live in. I can't even talk to you guys about what's going on. But I'm the crazy one. Because you watch CNN. Oh wait, never mind. Or Fox News. They're the same, bro. They don't agree on anything in the world, but they agree that you should take this. I literally can't even say the word. I can't say the word. I'll get terminated. Yeah, we back. I'm giving $100 cash to anybody that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. And I'm not asking you to define the theory of relativity, which I read, by the way. And none of you have read. None of you even know what it is. I'm just asking you the basic fundamental questions about the globe Earth. And no one will get the answers right. No one can answer the basic questions, but I'm crazy for not believing it. The Earth's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. That defies physics. There's something called fluid statics. Check it out. You can laugh, but you won't come over here and talk to me. You're a gamma. So look at this. This is how fluid statics works. It necessitates water always find this level. Look, if I turn it this way, it's still level, still level, still level, always level. It's called fluid statics. Yeah? It necessitates it finds its level. So that's why we put fluid in levels to build things. That's why we call it sea level. That's how we get elevation. So how is 70% of a ball level? Gravity. Gravity. You stupid flat earther. Gravity. I know more about gravity than you ever will. Define gravity. You can't. People say mass attracting mass. That's literally over 100 years archaic, according to your own model. And by the way, the heliocentric model is a religion. Yeah, it's all about sun worship, Helios. See, in this city we have the Statue of Liberty. Well, why don't you just go look up a picture of Helios statue and then compare them? They're the same thing. They're sun worshipers. You blindly believe in this belief system built upon the doctrine of men without empirical evidence. That is the definition of a religion. So you think you're atheist and you hate religion. You're the most religious zealotry I've ever seen in my life. This is the definition of religious zealotry. You blindly believe something, you don't even understand, you don't know the truth about it, you don't even know how to remember or regurgitate what they told you it is, you've never tested it, there's no empirical evidence for it, but you believe a textbook, you believe the government, and so you know it's true. I must be crazy. That's called being a religious zealot. You are religious. That's the whole trick, that's the irony of it. It's all about Helios worship. We got about 10 more minutes, I'm not gonna interrupt these guys.
Don't want to listen.
So the Earth's not a magic spinning ball in a vacuum. It defies a handful of physics. The second law of thermodynamics, fluid statics. You can't have pressure sitting next to a vacuum. Okay, and I debate astrophysics professors. I always have a few gamma males that they try to self-project their own intellectual insecurity onto me by laughing or pointing or making jokes. But they can't debate me. I debate your heroes. I debate your priests. Because it's a religion. I debate your academic priesthood. 5v1. Aerospace engineers, astrophysics professors that work on the Himawari satellite. I debate them all, 5v1. They can't debate me. So anyway, you just know gravity is your God in this religion, okay? You have a religion, you think that the Earth spins magically in a vacuum around Helios, and your God is gravity. Because when you don't know the answer to something, you just say gravity. It's your deity, it's the magic word that gets you out of everything. Right, so how do you have pressure sitting next to a vacuum? Gravity. Actually, that doesn't work. If I have gas pressure at the surface level when I let it out, it has omnidirectional dispersal. That includes directly up. Gravity is the strongest at the surface level, supposedly. It doesn't stop the gas from going in all directions, including up. So how could it stop it where it was way weaker up beside a vacuum? It couldn't. And this is where the conversation ends with astrophysics professors. It's just someone that wants to talk from the crowd and act like they're smart, but they would never walk up here. That's called being a gamma. Come up here and debate me if I'm so stupid, but you can't. I'm giving you $100 to answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. I'm so crazy, I don't believe in the globe Earth, but you don't even know what it is yet. You don't even know what it is. It's like someone telling me the Bible's real, but they never read Genesis. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I know everything about the globe Earth off the top of my head. Yah, and that's his real name is Yah, by the way. Yeah. Not God. God is the Babylonian deity for fortune and luck, and that's why it's on the back of your dollar. In God we trust. In God we trust. In Latin it says favors our undertakings, new world order. Just a coincidence, no big deal. The whole world shut down last year in agreement. You guys are still scared of the oxygen. Yo, why are you guys still scared of oxygen, bro? That's how you stay alive. I guess the government didn't give you permission to breathe yet. I'm definitely not gonna interrupt them. I didn't know they were over here singing about yeah. So we're gonna get out here in a second. No one ever takes us up on the money. I just wanted to make a point. Look, dude, look into it. This is being heavily censored. If you Google flat Earth, you'll get nothing but misinformation. There's something called the Flat Earth Society. Not one real flat earther believes any of that nonsense. Most people are like, if the Earth's flat, would you fall off? Wow, you're really an intellectual giant, bro. You really thought about this one. Not one real flat earther thinks you fall off the Earth. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's something called the Antarctic Treaty. There's a huge ice shelf that goes around the water and contains it. It's been circumnavigated 68,000 miles by Captain Cook. It's been documented, but it's illegal for us to go and try and verify that. Every country in the world agrees it's illegal, and you're gonna attack me as you sit back in your one little city scared of the oxygen forever? How about you open your mind and do some research before you try to self-project your own intellectual insecurity? Intelligent people don't care what dumb people think. Strong people don't care what weak people think. You don't need to make your mind up based on what majority think. You need to make your mind up based on what the evidence is. And so since it's about to be 1, I'm gonna wrap it up. What everyone asks is, why would they lie? Why does this even matter? Who cares? We actually have a rap song called Why Would They Lie? We get it so much. Why would they lie? Why would they lie? So I use this analogy. If you had a girlfriend, I know it's hard for a lot of you to imagine, but say you had a girlfriend and I walked up to you with my phone, I'm like, yo, I got some bad news, your girl's cheating on you, right? And you're like, no, I'm like, I got a video of it, bro. Like, I'm not gonna look at the evidence until you tell me why she would lie. She would never lie to me, bro. Why would she lie? I'd be like, bro, you're a clown. I got a video of her getting down with bro. You can look at the evidence or not. No, she would never lie. Why would she lie? You look at the evidence, found out she lied, then try to figure out why. That's what you need to do. You need to look at the evidence. All right, I'm gonna get out of y'all's way. Give me like 5 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna tell you why they lied anyway, even though that doesn't actually matter. It's called a non sequitur, a red herring fallacy. All right, so we give NASA $60 million every single day, $60 million a day, but the government would never lie for money, so we'll throw that one out. You can't go past the 60th South Latitude Antarctic Treaty, but the government would never lie to hide land and resources, right? So we'll throw that one out. Just when every war was started over, but we'll throw that one out. So they get $60 million a day, they're hiding land and resources, but that doesn't matter. There's something that happens when you can't believe your own observations. There's a psychological ramification. You can't tell the difference between truth and fiction. So whenever you feel like you're sitting still right now, no, you're actually spinning 1,000 miles per hour. And whenever you see the horizon's horizontal, which is why it's called horizon, it comes from the word horizontal, no, it's actually curving. Whenever you see the stuff in the sky move, no, it's actually sitting still. You're just spinning, but you can't feel it. And so whenever you can't believe what you observe, you have a psychological ramification where you can no longer tell the truth between, the difference between truth and fiction. This is why you guys will watch the news and believe them as they flip-flop stories day to day. Right? It just makes for a good slave state. And here's the real reason that they lied, or at least one of the biggest ones. They told you that everything came from nothing in a big bang, which actually came from a Catholic priest and says there was a pre-existing energy. So it doesn't say it came from nothing. It says there was a pre-existing energy, but I digress. And that, you know, lightning struck primordial soup, a Mars-sized body, hit the earth and then transferred energy to its core and then broke up into different pieces and then coalesced with gravity over millions of years, and the moon just turned to a perfect sphere, or it's a perfect distance. All this other psychopathic nonsense, and you're a tiny speck of dust in this huge universe and nothing matters. You came from nothing. The truth is, if the earth is geocentric and stationary, which it provably is, that means it had to be put there. There is a creator. There's literally no other way the earth could exist as it does. The sky resits around Polaris for all recorded history right over top of you. There's a creator. You didn't come from apes. There's not some tiny speck of dust in every universe. The earth is the center of everything, and it doesn't move, and the sky resets over top of you in the firmament just like the scriptures say it does, right? And so that means it had to be put there. There's not a scientifically viable option other than that. The necessary antecedent to creation is a creator. If it's the center of everything that exists, that means it had to be put there. So get right with the creator. The creator loves you. This is one of the biggest attacks on the scriptures that's ever existed. You read Genesis and have to immediately start doing mental gymnastics to say it's not true. So I'm not going to interrupt these guys. I really hope them the best. I hope they reach some people. I hope they pay attention to Hallelujah, Yahuwah, Yehovah. His name is Yah, not God. But anyway, this is very important. You're special, okay? You can look me up on YouTube. I'm on there for now. WitsitGetsIt, W-I-T-S-I-T, gets it, Whitsitt, gets it. But I'm sure I'll be deleted before too long. And I'm sure a bunch of you guys would actually support it, as sad as that is. You don't need the government's permission to breathe oxygen, just so you know. And the Earth's not a magic spinning ball in a vacuum. That means that you're special. You were created. The Earth is the center of everything. Peace.
No.
In a world. Yeah, they're about to like play music, and I don't want to interrupt them because they're actually singing praise music. What's up, guys? Zombies, but you do what you can. I'm definitely not going to interrupt and praise worship New York. I mean, you know, at least they're hearing something, so. Much love, bro. Thank you, guys. So we're just going to move somewhere else so we don't interrupt them. Because they're singing like hallelujah, like I'm not gonna interrupt that. That's why I wrapped it up the way I did, like I always do. Maybe they needed to hear it too. Tell Chris chat says hello. Chat says hello, Chris.
What up, Jack?
They had Helios wearing a mask on the banner. I didn't see. Oh, did they really? I didn't see it. Thing just got here. This is where we are. I'll try to keep it steady. We're gonna move somewhere else so we don't interrupt their little concert. Whitsitpedia. You should flash smack the music players. I already did. We're gonna find somewhere else to set up. Hello from Newfoundland, Austin, you demand. Thanks, man. Much love. What's up, bro? Hey, you guys don't have to wear those masks anymore, by the way. Go to CP. I don't know what that is. Oh, here the superheroes are getting you ready to accept these superheroes that are coming. I mean, aliens. Huh. You guys are too pretty to wear that mask. Where do you think we should go over there?
Good, how you doing?
No, I don't want to talk to that guy. I'm sorry. No, I'm waiting till I run into the Hebrew Israelites. I saw him last night, but I didn't have my microphone. So I'm waiting to see him. I'm from Tennessee. Thanks, bro.
Take it back, man. Can I sign the music for you? What's your name?
Yeah, Austin.
Austin, man. Take it back, man. Like Austin Powers.
Yeah.
These are my band members right here.
Okay, what's up? What's up?
There's no price on it. We're in a competition today for MTV. Our music is against racism and gun violence, Big Brody.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, man. So we try to get a donation if you can help with the donation.
I'll give you a couple bucks. Here,
Whatever you can from your heart. How long are you here for?
I don't know. A few days.
Welcome to the city. So you must have been. I can be changed for the 20. Try to get it 10. You must have been in a strip club last night.
No, I don't do strip clubs.
I can be changed.
No, you're good. Just take the one. Oh, you're trying to get a 10?
Yes, sir. I must have been in a strip club last night.
Nah, dude, I don't do the strip club, man.
I didn't strip club last night. Can you help me out? Can you do one more for my brother?
Nah, bro. Come on, brother.
Can you help me out?
All right, y'all can just both have that. Yeah. By the way, the Earth is flat. The Earth's flat. It doesn't spin around in a vacuum. They lie.
You know what they say? If you put it in the book long enough, they think it's a fact.
Yeah, exactly. So they just lie to us. It's like they say Christopher Columbus found this place.
But they said COVID was real.
Oh yeah, I'm
You'll hear
on
about that 3 years from now.
Don't terminate my channel. But yeah, much love, bro. I said they're against gun violence. I mean, that's a start. Hey, you guys don't actually have to wear the mask anymore. I don't know if you guys heard, but you don't actually have to wear them anymore. The government doesn't actually give you permission to breathe oxygen. It's called hypoxia. You should Google it. It's called a medical journal. Yeah, or we can just watch CNN. It's always someone's got such an attitude, but they know nothing about it. They seem kind of based though. Yeah. They weren't bad. I don't want this CD though. Can you put this in the? Oh, sorry. Thank you. I gave him a little money just so I could tell him to.
You're way too pretty to wear that mask.
So where should we go? Like over here?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go over there and post up. Find the religious zealots and post up. Yeah, I don't see any of the Hebrew Israelites, though. I mean, I haven't seen them today. How many rainbows you see? They're everywhere, dude. Yeah, I don't care. Oh, niece lives in New York City? That sucks. So we're gonna post up here. I'm gonna plug the phone in to charge it. Probably to be Oh, we're gonna use this as the backdrop. That's perfect. In a world.
No one knows. The world is.
Pretty good backdrop, I'm not gonna lie. I wish we had a bottle of water so I could show. Watch me show the fluid static says. It's all good.
In a world. I am offering $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. $100 cash. There's no strings attached. If you get it wrong, you don't gotta pay me money. I'll even tell you what the first question is. How many times does the globe Earth spin in 24 hours? It's the easiest question I could think of. You get the next 2 questions right, you get $100. No strings attached. I do this because I happen to know the Earth isn't a magic spinning cartoon ball in a vacuum, and you're gonna immediately laugh and say I'm crazy when I tell you what the Earth is, but you don't even know what they claim the Earth is. I'll give you $100 cash if you know. The basic questions. I'm not asking you to define the theory of relativity. I'm asking you the basic questions about the globe Earth. No one here will get it though, but I mean, I hope somebody tries. Anyway, the Earth's not a ball, it's flat. Are you a flat earther? Well, no, that's a stupid term. You're a flat earther too. You just don't know it yet. You think the Earth's a magic ball. You're a globe earther. You just blindly believe stupid nonsense. Hey, do you feel the Earth spinning right now? Because unless you've been chugging tequila shots, you don't feel the Earth spinning right now. And when you do that, and you start to get the spins, they tell you to roll over and put your feet on the Earth to stop spinning. So I'll give you $100 cash, right? Because this is what it is. You think I'm crazy? I don't think the Earth is a ball that spins in a vacuum. But you don't even know what it is. You don't even know what the model says. It's like someone telling me the Bible's real, but they've never read Genesis before. How would you know? I'm not gonna take your opinion seriously. You haven't even read your book yet. I'll break down some of the ways we know the Earth's not a ball though. My man's went and got me some water so I can show you guys this. All right, so there's something called fluid statics. Fluid statics necessitates water finds its level. Look, the water's level, still level, still level, still level. It'll always find its level. It's called fluid statics. This is why we put fluid in levels, right, to build things. So how is 70% of a ball flat? How's 70% of the ball Earth level? Oh, it's the one anomaly. It's the one exception where water doesn't find its level, I guess. 70% of a ball is flat. Oh, I thought I was a crazy one. $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. Unfortunately, the government admits that they censor this. You know, the same government that told you to be scared of the air, but we'll flatten the curve in 2 weeks. I mean, just over a year, right? Yeah, the government that lies about everything, the same government that started the Vietnam War with the false flag attack, and they declassified and admitted Vietnam didn't attack us. We attacked our own ship to make it look like it was them so we could start a war. That's declassified. Take it up with them. The government lies about everything. People get triggered. The Earth's not a ball. It's not my problem. $100 cash to anybody that can actually answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story, history lesson. This is what you should be taught in school, but fortunately we all go to public school and it's just an indoctrination camp and they just tell you what they want you to believe. So this is what happened. All this is declassified. You can verify it on your dumb phone. So in the 40s, the US military did something called Operation High Jump. This is where we explored the Antarctic areas. Okay, Admiral Burr was in charge of it, a decorated general for the US military. Right after this, we signed what's called the Antarctic Treaty, which is where every major world superpower in the world agreed that you cannot privately explore past the 60th south latitude or the Antarctic region. That means China, Russia, the United States, all these supposed enemies, they've all agreed that you cannot privately explore the Antarctic region, which of course would prove the Earth's a ball, by the way. You could circumnavigate it north to south, you come up over the ice cap and then come back over on the other side of a sphere. But it's illegal to do that. Within 1 year of signing the Antarctic Treaty, we also founded NASA. Within 1 year. Okay, NASA means to deceive in Hebrew, but that's a side note. So what did we do to go to space? Austin, you're crazy. You don't think the Earth's a ball? We went to space. Okay, so supposedly we went to the moon in 1969. We just can't go back yet. A verbatim quote from a world-renowned astronaut, Don Pettit, I would go back to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we destroyed that technology and it's a painful process to build it back. That seems legit. I'm actually currently streaming on an iPhone 12 Pro that has better processing capability than a warehouse of computers in '69. But I guess technology regresses. The government would never lie, right? So something else that's declassified, it's called Operation Paperclip. That's where we brought Nazi scientists over here, okay? Literally declassified. One of the Nazi scientists we brought over here, his name was Werner von Braun. He was actually an SS officer of the Nazi regime, Werner von Braun, because it's German, so the W's a fuck. Okay, so supposedly he was in charge of space exploration and took us to the moon in '69. You know what else Werner von Braun did when he wasn't busy trolling Americans with stories about rockets and mediums that couldn't exist and mass murdering millions of people as a Nazi? Well, he also wrote a science fiction book in the 50s. You can verify everything I'm saying. Werner von Braun wrote a science fiction book in the 50s, and the main character's name in this book is Elon. Guess what Elon does? He founds the first civilization on Mars. What a coincidence, 2021 we have someone named Elon Musk that's supposedly about to take us to Mars. You guys think it's a coincidence? You guys are coincidence theorists. So I guess when he wasn't mass murdering people, he was also a prophet on the side. I guess we can't go back to the moon because we're fresh out of Nazis. I thought we hated Nazis. Although it seems a lot of people don't hate them too much since we were supposedly a free country, but now we have lockdown, which is a prison term. Now people are still scared of the air. But I digress. Okay, so there's something called Freemasonry. 99% of Freemasons don't know a lot of the big truths, but for you to get to the 33rd degree, you have to be voted on and brought in, and you have to know big truths. One of these big truths is you have to know the Earth's a geocentric stationary plane or you're not allowed in. Okay? Well, what the 33rd degree Masons say in their literature is that, of course, the Earth is flat, and that they're Luciferians. They believe this is collective intellect and reason, and it's symbolically embodied by the sun, enlightenment, okay? So they're sun worshippers. That's why they told you that you go around the sun. Heliocentric, Helios. The Statue of Liberty is a Helios statue. It's literally identical to a Helios statue. It has nothing to do with freedom of America. It's a Helios statue. They're sun worshippers. Anyway, so like I said, they're Luciferians. These are the most powerful, rich people in the world. Well, if you've ever heard of the number 666, right? 666 is the number of the beast. Now, like I said, you guys say I'm a conspiracy theorist, you guys are coincidence theorists, and I'm about to prove it. So 666 is the number that Luciferians basically worship, okay? Well, let's see how many times this globe Earth model has 666 in it. Supposedly, the moon is 250,000 miles away, with a diameter of 2,160, that's 6 times 6 times 60. Supposedly, the circumference of the globe Earth in nautical miles is 21,600, that's 6 times 6 times 600. Supposedly, we have a curvature rate of the surface of the Earth is 0.666 feet per mile squared. The North and South Arctic circles are 66.6 degrees. We're supposedly on a 66.6 degree tilted axis while we go around the sun 66,600 miles per hour, all utilizing gravity, whose number is 6.666, and discovered by Isaac Newton in 1666 when an apple fell on his head. You guys think that's all coincidence? You can verify everything I just said. See, it's a Luciferian trick, and they just wanted to see how many people would fall for it, and they couldn't help but resist to stamp their number all over it. Why are we looking over here? That's what it was like, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, they just, they trolled you with the number 666, they put it all over it, they're Luciferians. And see, a lot of people here, they think that they're atheists. I hate to break it to you, but there's no such thing as atheists. There's literally no such thing as an atheist. See, atheism, the etymology of the word is no creator. So does anyone here know for a fact, 100%, that there is no creator? Of course not. No one could say that, honestly. You're agnostic. It means you don't know. That's the best you could be. You're not atheist. So anyway, atheism is the dumbest ideology that exists. According to Freemasons, you're not even allowed to be a Freemason if you're an atheist. They consider it too dumb. So a lot of people think that they are on this tiny speck of dust in this universe where everything came from nothing, called the Big Bang Theory. The truth is, if you're an atheist and your worldview is dependent upon the Big Bang Theory, that is hilariously ironic because that was proposed by a Catholic priest by the name George Lamonte. And he actually didn't say everything came from nothing. He said there was a pre-existing energy. So anyway, if you're an atheist because of the Big Bang, that's hilarious because your entire worldview is dependent upon what came from a Jesuit priest, a Catholic priest. You're not atheist. But anyway, they just want to trick you into thinking you're insignificant because this results in nihilism, which is apathy, which simply means to not care about anything. If you walk around not caring about anything, you're easier to brainwash. That's why most of you are still scared of the air. That's why they used to give different slaves in concentration camps fluoride because it makes you more docile. It calcifies your pineal gland and makes you more docile and easier to control. That's why they put it in your water. Believe it or not, the government's not trying to make sure you have a pretty smile. So I'm offering $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth, but no one ever gets the money. We were just in DC for like a week, no one got the money. We were just in Philly, no one got the money. Now we're in New York City, no one will get the money. My point is that all you guys went to school, you think I'm crazy for not believing the Earth's a ball, but none of you know anything about it.
Show it that way. But there's actually people.
That's right, the Earth is not a magic spinning cartoon ball in a vacuum that defies physics.
Trying to get a shot anyway.
One of the physics that this violates is the second law of thermodynamics. I debate astrophysics professors, by the way. You guys can't debate me. Anybody thinks it's a stupid flat earth, or they can come up here and stump me, just go for it. You should be able to ask a question that I can't answer, right? Anyway, so there's something called the second law of thermodynamics, right? So entropy will increase, a system will spontaneously seek its equilibrium. Dude, we hold this. Jeez Louise, man. Alright, anyway. So there's something called the second law of thermodynamics. Okay, so I'll give you a simple example because most of you guys don't know what that is because you went to public school like I did and you just get brainwashed and not taught anything. So whenever you have a soda, the way your soda is fresh is because it's sealed really tightly and it's carbonated, right? You know, my streams are getting attacked hard today. Oh, YouTube just attacking my stream. This is a free country though. So anyway, what they defined space as literally couldn't exist. They couldn't have gone where they claimed that they went. They claimed that they went in 1969. They just can't go back 50 years later because they destroyed the technology and can't rebuild it. They supposedly gave people moon rocks all around the world, different countries moon rocks. They tested them and they were just petrified wood. You can Google everything I'm saying. So get on your dumb phone and verify it. Oh wait, never mind, I just gotta post a pic for the gram when his jersey's out. Oh look, Polo G just dropped that heat. Oh, Fortnite video games. Right, we all distracted with stupid nonsense. That's how they keep you walking around scared of the air. And by the way, they're conditioning you. I'm just gonna drop all the red pills. They're conditioning you for the mark of the beast. Uh-oh. That's why they're scanning your wrist and they're scanning your forehead. The same year they told you to wear a mask to identify yourself, to buy, sell, and trade. One letter away from mark. Well, there's just a thousands-year-old prophecy that said that in the end, they will try to make a new world order and that they will make you take a mark to identify yourself, to buy, sell, or trade, and it'll have to do with your wrist and your forehead. What a coincidence. 2020, the whole world shut down the same day. They all agreed because they're getting ready for the New World Order. They told you to wear a mask to identify yourself, to buy, sell, and trade. And as you walk into a store like a robot, they scan your forehead. They're getting you ready for the mark. And none of you guys put it together. Most of you guys are just rushing to get genetically modified. And I can't use the real world. I get kicked off YouTube. What a free country we live in. If you don't know, I'll say it like this. All hell Biden. He said we can breathe oxygen again as long as we take whatever they give us. So surely you know what I'm saying. In a world. I'm offering $100 cash to anyone that can answer any 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. And I'm gonna hit you with all kinds of truth. They're conditioning you for the mark of the beast. You don't need the government's permission to breathe oxygen. That's dumb. That's how they're scanning your wrist and your forehead. You guys want to laugh and play it off, but when you claim that you're an atheist or whatever, like atheism is literally the dumbest thing that has ever existed in the history of mankind. Next to everything comes from nothing, and the Earth's a spinning ball in a vacuum. How is 70% of a globe Earth water, and water always finds its level? And by the way, this isn't just like a subjective conversation. Like, I wonder if the Earth is flat. We proved it. That's why it's censored. It's admitted in Congress to be censored. And people laugh, but they literally have no idea anything about this model. I'll give you $100 cash if you can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. The first one is, how many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours? You should have learned that in kindergarten. People actually get that wrong. It's the easiest question I could have thought of. So, you're hella crooked. So $100 cash to anyone that answers 3 basic questions about the globe Earth.
Good morning. Please.
Okay. So anyway, the way that we proved it is we tested the surface of the Earth to see if it was curving at the rate it has to be. So I know a lot of you guys went to public school, but so did I. It's called geometry, okay? So that's the measure of shapes, right? Well, they say the Earth's an oblate spheroid with a radius value of 3,959 miles. That means it has to curve at a certain rate. That is 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Okay, so also before for you guys, what's the square root of 1? 1. So if I'm 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, I have to see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 miles away. We have an observation 1 foot off the surface of the Earth off the coast of Cali where the horizon's over 10 miles away. That would require the radius value to be 264,000 miles. They claim it's under 4,000 miles. But you guys don't even know what the radius is. You definitely have never tested it, but that makes me crazy. It's like someone telling me the Bible's real, but they never read Genesis. What a cool story, bro. You sound like a religious zealot. And by the way, this is religious. This is a religion. It's a belief system built upon the doctrine of men, void of empirical evidence. And it's all about sun worship by the Luciferians. That's why you think you're going around Helios. Just a coincidence that the Statue of Liberty in this city is a literal Helios statue, though. Probably just another coincidence, as it has 666 all throughout the entire thing. So anyway, we also have another observation where we see mountains from 223 miles away. Based on the globe Earth map, that should have been blocked by 1 mile of Earth curvature, yet we can see the entire mountain top to bottom. We have another observation where you can actually see the Chicago skyline over Lake Michigan from 60 miles away. The building should have been completely obstructed by Earth curvature, but we can see the entire skyline. We falsified the radius. That's how big the Earth is. A radius is the distance from the center to the edge of a circle or a sphere. That means it's the maximum extension. The curvature can be no further than that rate, okay? Well, we falsified it. When you falsify the radius, you falsify the entire model. Day and night cycle requires the radius. Supposed gravity requires the radius. Distances on the Earth require the radius. You have to have a radius of orbit to go to space, so you need the radius of the Earth. If the radius is wrong, everything's wrong. Every story they told you about space is a lie. And we literally went out, we measured the Earth. There's tens of millions of us all over the Earth, and that's why it's censored. And if you Google it, you won't find my YouTube channel. You won't find the real YouTube channels like Jeranism. You know what you'll find? Something called the Flat Earth Society. There's not one real flat earther there. So why is it that real flat earthers are censored, but they prop up a fake Flat Earth Society misinformation campaign? Why would they ever do that? I thought flat earth was stupid. I thought it was archaic. Why would you have to misrepresent the actual argument if it's so stupid? So they tell you that we think we're a disk in space next to spherical planets and we're shooting up 9.8 meters per second squared. No real flat earther thinks that. That's stupid. No flat earther thinks you fall off the side of a disk. That's stupid. That's what everyone said. Wouldn't you fall off? Oh, you were like intellectual giants over here. You really thought this one out. No, you don't fall out. The necessary antecedent to water is that it's contained, okay? So water always conforms to its container and finds its level. So there's something called an ice shelf that's outside of the water. Captain Cook circumnavigated, or at least attempted to, 68,000 miles, and all he did was see an ice shelf the entire way. And now it's illegal for us to even go check it out. Every country in the world has put their differences aside in the Antarctic Treaty and said, you cannot go explore this area privately. That's probably another coincidence. You guys are coincidence theorists. It's just like, you're really nervous that like, oh man, if I agree with this flat earther, people might think I'm crazy. So I'm just gonna like self-project my intellectual insecurity on this guy who clearly knows way more about it than I do. So I'm offering $100 cash to anyone that can answer the 3 basic questions. The number one question we get though, whenever people can't answer any of this, is why would they lie? What's it even matter? Why would they lie? So I always use this analogy because I think it really works pretty well. If you had a girlfriend, and I walked up to you with a video of her cheating on you, and I said, bro, I got some bad news. Got your girl cheating on you. would you say, oh, I'm not going to look at the evidence because she would never lie. Why would she lie? Why would she lie? No, you look at the evidence, find out she cheated, and then you'd figure out why she lied. Or you'd be a square, bro. So anyway, the truth of the matter is that they lied, and then you need to figure out why they lied, but I'll give you some speculations because that's where everyone stops. Like, what's this matter? Why would they lie? Okay, so they said that the Earth is a tiny speck of dust in the ever-expanding universe of nothingness, and that you came from a big bang, everything came from nothing. And then lightning struck primordial soup, and abiogenesis, which is organic life stemming from inorganic matter. Rocks jumped out into the water, became fish, grew some feet, jumped out the water. We're like, oh, we want to become rodents. They actually say your ancestors are rats. Then you turn into apes, then you turn into humans, and you guys actually think you're intelligent because you believe in evolution when it's the dumbest postulation in the history of mankind. Anyway, so the truth is, to even postulate this, you have to have billions of years, and you have to have thousands of light years away, right? So they had to make up this story of the heliocentric model to make you think that you were insignificant and everything came from nothing. The truth is that if the Earth is not moving, which it provably isn't, and if it's the center of everything, which it provably is, it's called geocentric, and that means that it had to be created. If the Earth is the center of everything, it had to be created. That's a big difference. So that means that this conversation has huge implications, right? So either you can say that everything came from nothing and there is no creator, or you can realize and acknowledge what the Earth really is, which is the center of everything that exists, which means it had to be put there. The necessary antecedent to creation is a creator. Now how you express it, how you identify it, what you figure out or do with that, that's on you. But this is just objective. There's not a scientifically viable option outside of it being created. Also, we give NASA $60 million a day, but the government would never lie for money. And like I said, you can't go to the Antarctic region. But the government would never lie to hide land and resources. They just start entire wars for that very thing, but we'll just throw those out. And this is a real big one right here. Whenever you cannot tell the difference between truth and fiction, you're a very good slave. So when you feel like you're not moving, but you have to blindly believe you're spinning 1,000 miles per hour, you have to believe the opposite of your senses. Whenever you see stuff moving in the sky and they tell you that it's sitting still, you're just spinning it, looks like that, you have to believe the opposite of your senses. Whenever you see the horizon is horizontal, which is what the word means, horizon, horizontal, right? You see the horizon's flat, you have to believe actually it's curving, it just looks flat. Whenever you know that water always finds its level, you have to believe, well, oh, no, never mind, it's actually curving. And so when you cannot believe anything that you observe with your senses and any observations that you make, you have to look to the authority for the answers, right? That makes a good slave state. That's why they gave slaves in concentration camps fluoride to make them more docile. And that's why they put fluoride in your water, by the way. It wasn't because the government wants you to have pearly whites, bro. They don't care about you. So anyway, and that's why it's blowing my mind you guys are still blindly obeying what the government said for the last year. I'm trying to plug it in. So every single country in the world's agreed that you're not allowed to figure out this truth, but I'm crazy. $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions. Sometimes I get participation money, you know, because people are so scared to come up here. I'm so dumb that people are scared to come answer the questions I'm dumb for not believing in. What a clown world. All right, so I'm gonna say this again in case you guys didn't hear it. This lie is propagated by something called the Freemasons. It's not just the Freemasons. There's a Jesuit order. There's a lot of very powerful groups of people, right? But they're all Luciferians. And so there's something called the number of the beast. Okay, 666. So let's see how many times this globe earth motto has 666 in it. Just coincidentally, because you guys are coincidence theorists. Okay? So supposedly the moon is 250,000 miles away with a diameter of 2,160, which is 6 times 6 times 60. The circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is 21,600, which is 6 times 6 times 600. Supposedly the curvature rate of the Earth is 0.666 feet per mile squared. Supposedly the Arctic circles north and south are at 66.6 degrees. Supposedly this is all utilizing gravity, whose number is 6.6666. And of course this was discovered by Isaac Newton when an apple fell on his head in 1666. And we're supposedly on a 66.6 degree tilt going around the sun 66,600 miles per hour. You guys think that's all a coincidence? What a bunch of coincidence theorists. What a coincidence theorists. What's up?
There is no gravity.
Yeah, that's more dense in the air. So that's why I felt.
Out of the earth. There is no air.
Yeah, there is.
There is no air. The right has no gravity. And ours there is no such gravity.
Yeah, that's not gravity, bud. That's called density equilibrium.
Brainwash, motherfucker.
Says the guy who just dropped a soda and thinks it proves the Earth's a ball.
Look the bear.
You're just screaming. You look dumb. Calm down, bud. Okay, says the guy who doesn't know anything about this conversation. So this dude dropped his soda. It must mean the Earth's a ball that spins in a vacuum. What a cool story. So anyway, if you throw a beach ball up, it falls down because it's more dense in the air. If you take the beach ball to the bottom of a pool and let go of it, it goes up. That's because it's less dense than the water. It's called density disequilibrium. Why does helium go up? I guess helium balloons are gravity proof, huh? No, it's because helium's less. Hey, helium's lighter than the air around it.
One car goes this way, the other car goes this way. Are you dumb? It is a flat.
Okay, this guy's
no
way
gravity.
off here. You need to calm down, bud. Go drink some water or something.
No, nigga, I got Molly in my lean.
Okay, well maybe that's the problem. So anyway, yeah, it's called density equilibrium. Apparently butterflies and helium balloons are gravity proof. No, it's just the helium is lighter than air. That's why helium balloons go up. Okay, so when the reason that you go down and you stay on the ground, you're more dense than the air. I know it's so profound. Gravity's not needed for any of this. We could get real technical where most people aren't ready for it. Everything is intrinsically electrostatic. It's nothing more than incoherent dielectric acceleration. Electrostatic is 10 to the 39th power stronger than gravity even claims to be, and you can never isolate gravity because you can't get rid of electrostatics. So whenever I scoot my feet on the ground and I touch you and shock you, that's electrostatics. When I take a helium balloon and I scoot it on my head and then I put it on the wall and it sticks, that's electrostatics. So everything's inherently intrinsically electrostatic, 10 to the 39th power stronger than gravity even claims to be. But I'm the crazy one because you blindly have to believe something that can't be proven, and then they say, oh, out in this magical space medium of a vacuum, it all changes and gravity's stronger. Okay. You guys sound like religious zealots to me, to be honest. I'm just being real. You guys know nothing about it, but you believe it, and I'm crazy for not believing in it. You sound like a religious zealot that thinks the Bible's real but never read Genesis. And the truth is the scriptures actually are true. They've just been super messed with, and they changed the main character's name, but I digress. I ain't gonna get on there right now. You guys check out as soon as you hear something about the scriptures. Religion sucks. That includes modern Christianity. So anyway, which, by the way, was actually started by sun worshippers as well. All modern Christianity stems from the Roman Catholic Church. The Romans are sun worshippers. That's why they moved Sunday to sun worship day. They don't even hide it, but you people don't think for yourself. The Sabbath is actually on Saturdays. This is sun worship day. You shouldn't go to church on sun worship day. But anyway, we're not gonna get into that right now because you guys really can't handle it. But this is where you need to start really thinking about it. If the Earth's not a magic spinning ball in a vacuum and it's stationary, and it's the center of everything, someone put it there, bro. How could the Earth be the center of everything and someone not put it there? There's literally no other way. And dude, this is acknowledged by all the priests in your little religion called quote unquote scientists that are actually pseudoscientists. Have you ever heard of Hubble telescope? Edwin Hubble says, well, it looks like the Earth could in fact be in a favored location of the center of everything, but we must disprove this, or we must not acknowledge this because it shows that we're in a favored location. We must avoid this at all costs. So they say it can never be disproven that the Earth is the center of everything because there's even dispersal in all directions relative to the center of the Earth. But if the Earth is the center of everything, that means it's in a favored location, and we must avoid this at all costs. I wonder what that psychopath did that he's that scared there might be a creator. So they admit they can't disprove the Earth's the center of everything. Well, guess what? We can disprove the Earth's revolving around a stupid little sun that's 93 million miles away. You know what they say? That the sun and the moon just look like they're the same size, but the sun is actually 400 times bigger than the moon. It's just coincidentally exactly 400 times further away also, so they look like they're the same size so we can have perfect eclipses. You know what the other option is? They're the same size. And whenever you see the sun move through the sky all day and then eventually set, you know what they say? The sun's actually sitting still. You're just falling backwards 1,000 miles per hour and it just looks like that. You know what the other option is? That the sun moves in the sky. Whenever you see the horizon's horizontal, they say it actually just looks like that, it's curved. You wanna know what the other option is? It's horizontal. So you believe the opposite of everything that you've ever observed with no empirical evidence. You have to believe that NASA went to space in the 60s, they just can't go back. What a joke. Oh no, it's not just NASA, even SpaceX, a private company, says they go to space. Actually, they get hundreds of millions of dollars from the government, and Elon Musk said that he would have never been to space without NASA. It's just an extension of NASA. They found out people don't believe in NASA very much anymore, so they made up a private company called SpaceX. This psychopath that wants to put a chip in your brain, yeah, he's here to save the world. He wants to put a chip in your brain, which means that you lose your body autonomy. No big deal. And they're getting you ready for the mark, by the way. That's why they're scanning your wrist and forehead. Truth to be told, you need to get right with the Father because they're going to tell you that they can reverse cell degradation, you can telepathically communicate, you will no longer age, and you'll be like, oh, sign me up, transhumanism. And you'll no longer be a human. You'll no longer have a spirit. And they're getting you ready for the mark. That's why they told you to identify yourself, to buy, sell, and trade, and start scanning your wrist and your forehead the same year the entire world shut down. Oh, just down zero prophecy, but we'll just ignore it. This guy's crazy. No, you're crazy, because you don't know any of this. Can you do the statistical analysis for me of all those prophecies coming true in the same year, please? Yeah, it violates the statistical number of impossibility numerous times. But it doesn't matter. This makes me uncomfortable. Throw us a ball, Austin, I promise. So one thing a lot of people do is they come show me a picture of the Earth from space, quote unquote. Well, NASA actually admits those are cartoons. So if you want to fact check me, which I encourage you to do, go to nasa.gov. So you can type in Google, nasa.gov, Robert Simmons, Blue Marble. One of the most infamous pictures of Earth from space ever, Blue Marble, the default wallpaper on iPhones of the first generation. This is what they say the Blue Marble is. That they take pictures from high altitudes, they stitch it on a flat map surface, they then wrap it around a ball, they bring an artist in to do an artist rendition to match what the observer expects it to look like. Direct quote from Robert Simmons, this artist, of course it's photoshopped, it has to be. So this supposed real picture of Earth from space isn't a picture, it's a cartoon. And NASA said that. NASA said that they're just cartoons. You guys believe in cartoons and you're adults. What a clown world. I guess Star Wars is real too. It's like a 5-year-old telling me that they want to go chill with Dora the Explorer. Dora's not real, I'm sorry. I'm gonna need some real evidence, not cartoons from the government that always lies and kicks it with Nazis. Operation Paperclip, literal Nazis. Literal Nazis. So if you guys think all this is not sketchy, you guys are just lying to yourself. And the truth is, this is a huge lie because that means every government in the world's working together to hide this from you. Every major country in the world's working together. Maybe now last year's making a little more sense when the whole world agreed to shut down the same day. I thought they were enemies. I thought Russia, China, and the US were enemies. But we just put our differences aside, sipped a little cognac, and agreed that none of the humans can go travel past the 60th south latitude. We'll agree on that. What a clown world. So $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. They're the most basic, rudimentary metric questions of the globe Earth I could think of. They're the most basic questions. I'm not asking you to define the theory of relativity, which I read, by the way, and is nonsense. What's that? What's under us? That's a good question. The deepest hole ever dug is 7.8 miles. It's called the borehole in Russia, so no one can verify anything deeper than 7.8 miles. And actually, the globe Earth had all these predictions of the crust and all these layers, and they were wrong the whole step of every step of the way. They said it'd be hot there, it was cold there. They said it'd be wet there, it was dry there. So no one can go deeper than 7.8 miles. It's the deepest hole ever dug. It's called the borehole in Russia. Around the exact same distance of the deepest area of the ocean. So yeah, I mean, they claim they know what's 4,000 miles away, but they can't even go more than 8 miles down. And actually, I talked to all kinds of professors and stuff, I debate them. Actually, some of them tell me in confidence they know the Earth's flat, like Ivy League professors. So you guys need to wake up, but anyway. So you can ask Stanford, Harvard, Yale, you name it. They cannot explain the magnetic field on a globe Earth, still to this day in 2021. That's the top tier of your academic little priesthood that you guys revere. They can't explain the magnetic field. This is because they claim that it's made up of certain metals at the core. There's something called the Curie point. When a metal gets too hot, it loses its magnetic capability. They said that the temperature of the core actually supersedes this Curie point, but that they're made of the metals that would need to be magnetic, so they can't explain it in 2021. In addition, whenever they applied the theory of relativity, which is the current rhetoric for gravity that all you guys say but don't understand at all, it's your God, right? So when they applied the theory of relativity to the universe, guess what happened? They were off by 95%. It's called dark matter and dark energy. No, it wasn't 95% right. It's off by 95%. You guys have the audacity to make fun of me not believing in a story that they can't even mathematically get to work yet? They're off by 95%. They can't even make it work with math yet. Dark matter, meaning dark we don't know, matter meaning we assuming it's material. It's literally a mathematical discrepancy. Oh, I'm crazy, and then the best gravity that you can come up with is not even close to reality, and it's off by 95%. The truth is that the sky moves over top of you. It resets for all recordable history around the North Star Polaris. The Egyptians built megalithic structures lined up with the stars. They still line up with the same stars. So you just Google yourself time-lapse of star trails. I take them all the time because we know what real flat earthers do. We actually go make observations and test the Earth while everyone else just posts pics for the gram. I gotta post a pic for the gram, wait up. Okay, we're good. I posted my pic for the gram for the day. I heard Polo G just dropped that heat though. No one cares about anything. It's wild. But anyway, so the Earth is not a spinning ball. The Earth is stationary. The sky resets for all recorded history. It's called time-lapse of star trails. It will prove it to you. The globe Earth admits this. The model admits this. It says it just looks like that because everything's thousands of light years away. And even though you're seeing those stars every single day for thousands of years, most of them are actually not even there anymore. Wow. What a clown world. They're thousands of light years away. How'd you prove that? You know how they quote-unquote proved it? They just made it up, bro. They had a mathematical dependency of orbital trajectories of planets. They mapped out the math, and that's how far away it has to be minimally for it to even be possible that the Earth's a spinning ball in a vacuum. And it's off by 95% still in 2021. And honestly, my honest opinion is that they're going to absorb the flat Earth, but not until they have another deception ready for you. Like, oh, I don't know, UFOs. I've seen 7 UFOs in one night. They're real, but whenever they try to tell you some fairy tale story about aliens from intergalactic travels, that's a lie. I don't even think that they do that. I think they admit they come out the oceans. But anyway, you guys think that's real crazy. The unopened mind will consider me weird. That's the way the Matrix is engineered. The Pentagon was given 180 days to start to release UFO information. That deadline was up on June 1st. So they're going to start drip feeding UFO information. They already are on mainstream media, which, by the way, CNN and Fox News are all run by the CIA, Operation Mockingbird. Look it up. It's declassified that they run the mainstream media. What news do you watch? Do you watch Fox News or CNN? I watch MSNBC. Well, I'm not a psycho. I didn't fall for the stupid trick from the CIA, bro. And they were actually asked in Congress, so are you saying that the agents or that the anchors are actually CIA agents? You want to know what the CIA representative said back? We're going to have to continue this conversation behind closed doors. Legit, look it up. Operation Mockingbird, CNN and Fox News are the same thing. MSNBC is the same thing. It's all run by the CIA. It's declassified. Literally declassified. So most of you guys are still scared of the air because the news told you to be scared of the air. So the CIA is telling you guys how to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys believe the government so much. Y'all act like a lot of people in this city be tripping me out. Y'all be walking around like y'all G's while y'all got y'all mask on. You ain't a G, bro. You're still listening to the government tell you to be scared of the air. What a clown world. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. With that stupid little blue mask on. Toss them in the trash, they're dumb. I can't get too specific, YouTube will terminate my channel. But apparently America's not too free. We use the word lockdown now. You know who else has lockdown? People in the pen. Yeah, you're chilling in the pod and then you got your curfew, you gotta go in lockdown. This was a free country, what happened to that? Lockdown is the opposite of free. So you don't need the government's permission to breathe oxygen. You know you have something called lungs. What these things called lungs do is they breathe oxygen. This is how you stay alive. It's just like basic anatomy. So why we need the government's permission? Oh, all hell Biden, he said we could take our masks off. What a joke. As long as we take what they give us. I can't say the word, I'll get kicked off YouTube. What a clown world. All hell Biden. And don't get it twisted, Trump's a psycho too. They're all related. All US presidents track back to English royalty and they're all related. That includes Obama. Every single US president is related. You can look it up yourself. So the truth is that they're in a group that you're not in. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton hate each other so much. That's why she was on the second row of his wedding. It's just a big club that you're not in. And actually, speaking of, so in 2015, the top 2 searched Google terms were Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Guess what number 3 was? Flat Earth. So guess what they had to do? They had to come out and start censoring it. And they admitted in Congress that they censor it. It's dangerous misinformation. Yeah. You see, you don't know why it's dangerous? Because if you guys have been listening, you know you can't debate me. You know that this is not debatable stuff. You know that I'm telling you evidence you can go verify for yourself. You can go test the earth for yourself. Don't blindly believe me, go test the earth for yourself. These are physical laws, scientific laws, physical measurements, right? That's why it's dangerous, because it is not a debate. Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the mainstream scientific communicators, right? He was supposed to debate Eric Dubay. They agreed on Joe Rogan, then he had to back out because his little handlers were like, no, bro, you can't debate this.
Sir, what are you talking about? The
Earth's flat.
Oh, I'm working.
Okay, cool. So I'll give you $100 cash if you can answer 3 questions about the globe. Yeah, you don't know anything about the globe, and I'm crazy for not believing it. Yeah. All right, we falsified the radius value. The Earth's not curving at 8 inches per mile squared. You can't have pressure next to a vacuum. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. Fluid statics necessitates water finds its level. And you believe everything from public textbooks that indoctrinated you, and the CIA controls the media that you believe in.
Why
No, well, it's their eternal prerogative, you know. Really, the truth is people are just intellectually insecure, so they project it onto me because they think it makes them look cool. But the truth is, anyone that's intelligent is just like, oh man, they tripping. You know, so whatever. Who cares? I get attacked by people all the time, but no one comes up and debates me. Since I'm such a stupid, crazy flat earther, why can't someone come up here and just give me their home run question that makes me look dumb? No one can do it. Scientologists? No, that's the craziest religion I've ever heard in my life. Hell no. The scriptures are real, but religion sucks. Yeah, they change. Like, I've never seen another religion where they change the main character's name and change his birthday and then change all kinds of different translations and make it all up. They didn't do that to Islam. I'm just saying though. Yeah, the scriptures are the truth, but religion sucks. And I happen to, like, if you know what the earth is, then you know there has to be a creator. You have a spirit. You have a spirit. You're individually special. You literally have light in you. And actually, I can't get too specific, but what they're rolling out right now tracks the light in your body. So maybe they're going to try to get rid of it. When I cut the YouTube off, I'll get real, but I can't do it on YouTube. They'll cut my channel off. I can't even read medical journals word for word on YouTube anymore. What a free country we live in. So anyway, I'm forcibly censored and shadow banned on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. I've actually been kicked off of Venmo and PayPal for being a flat earther. I don't even cuss. I've been kicked off Venmo and PayPal. What do they have to do with what I say on YouTube, bro? Yeah, clown world. Clown world. And even if you think I'm crazy, you should definitely agree with my right to say it. It's called the First Amendment, which is being trampled upon, by the way. That's why they got you covering your mouth. That's symbolic of the end of free speech. The earth is flat, bro. The earth's not spinning, bro. And that's actually the main reason I do it is for children. I do it for open-minded adults too, but if you want to believe in it, go for it. But I actually find it despicable that we tell children what to believe and we don't give them their right to make up their own mind, you know? Like, hey, this is what they should teach you in school. So either the earth's not moving or it's moving. Now, you're never going to feel it moving, but you have to believe it's actually spinning and that when you watch the sunset, you're falling backwards 1,000 miles per hour. Why can't we just tell them the truth? Why can't we tell them the sky looks like it moves, but actually it sits still because you're spinning? Because the children would put it together, bro. See, the reason that the older people have it, it's years and years and years of psychological operations and indoctrination, and eventually you just give up. See, whenever you were told the earth was a ball, you were like 7 years old. And you were like, wait, wouldn't I fall off of that? And everyone kind of laughed, and she's like, gravity. And you're like, where? That checks out. When's recess? You don't care, right? That's why they get you young. They show you cartoons and brainwash you young. I think it's despicable. Actually, the scriptures say that if you're going to lead one of these little ones astray, it's better you have a millstone tied around her neck and be thrown to the depths of the sea. So I know that sounds a bit radical, but lying to children is not cool because they're malleable. They believe whatever adults say. Like whenever you tell them that some creepy, psychopathic, overweight dude's going to sneak in their house in the middle of the night through fire and that they constantly can see them. That's weird, bro. That's weird. And you worked hard to buy that, so I'm skirting around it because people get triggered. If you want to tell your children lie, go for it. You know, if you want to tell them that some fairy pops over and grabs their teeth, I mean, it's whatever. I just think it's weird. We shouldn't lie to children. They're going to believe whatever you tell them. You know what I'm saying? You could tell them something as stupid and as crazy as they came from monkeys. Oh, wait, most of you actually believe that. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. See, we actually came from apes, okay? But there's no intermediate species. See, the apes stopped evolving, then we evolved all the way from the apes to the humans, and all the intermediate species, they just all died. It takes millions of years and you would keep evolving, and actually the apes would continue to evolve. But no, they all died. Just believe me. We found some bones that we fragmented and put together and made up pseudoscientific stories about billions of years. By the way, you can't even date something billions of years old. Yeah, of course you can't. You can't, no one even knows how. Most people say carbon dating. Carbon dating doesn't even claim to go over 50,000 years. And carbon dating is incredibly wrong. We actually took 2 different samples and we took them to 2 different labs, but they're of the same thing. One of them said they were like a couple hundred years old. One of them said they were a few thousand years old. Carbon dating is a joke. You actually can't even isolate the element to actually find the degradation rate. So it doesn't even matter. My whole point is, there's all these fairy tales about billions of years. They're just pseudoscience. Okay? The Earth's not billions of years old. Everything didn't come from nothing. You didn't evolve from apes. The Earth's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. Okay? It defies physics. It's one of the dumbest tricks ever. It will go down in history as almost as stupid as the Big Bang. What's that? You think it's simulation theory? Oh, okay, that's interesting. I can't really go with that, but the truth is there's a metaphysical realm around us called the etheric realm, so there's definitely like a metaphysical point to this where you could go in and out of certain aspects of reality. That's what astral projection is. Simulation, I don't really buy that as in everything's zeros and ones and someone just made a computer program. I mean, you could kind of say that in a way, but Elon Musk says that. I guess that's why most people think it's real. That dude's a psycho, but nah, the truth is it was created. Yeah, well, one source created everything, but it's not a simulation like a computer game. Like, there's no evidence for that, because that would require reality to be fluid. There's a creator above us, but there's something called a firmament. So it protects, it actually holds the air here. So simulation theory is just some unfounded speculation. It's theoretic. So I stick with what I can empirically demonstrate to be true. There's something called a firmament that contains the gas pressure here. The Earth's flat, doesn't move. Where's the edge? I can't really hear you. Is that what you're asking, where the edge is? Okay, where's the edge? Yeah, so you can't go past the 60th south latitude. So someone called Captain Cook, he went around the edge of the Earth trying to circumnavigate it. He went 68,000 miles, and all he saw the entire time was an ice shelf that was way higher than the water. Now it's illegal for you to go there. Every world country power, every superpower in the world's agreed. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. So there's an ice shelf around us. What's outside of that? I can't make any claims. I don't make claims I can't verify. That's why I'm a flat earther. I'm not a stupid globe earther that thinks everything's going 666 coincidentally in a vacuum while water bends around the outside of a ball, even though water always finds its level, and pressure sitting next to a vacuum and just chills beside it. It doesn't fill the available space like it would forever always. I just don't believe stupid fairy tales from the government. Oh, but NASA went to the moon in '69. What? I can't hear the last thing. Humans, yeah. What if the scriptures were written by humans? That's your point? Yeah, actually, most of the scriptures are inspired and written by humans. Actually, the Torah is the one that even the group of the scriptures that even claim to be verbatim from the Creator, right? Because Moses went as the intercessor and got verbatim rules. Humans that were inspired wrote it. But how did they prophesy things thousands of years in advance? And what most people will say is powerful people wrote it as a script to control you, right? Well, yeah, religion was used to control you and mass murder millions of people. But actually, the prophecies could not be fulfilled by men alone, right? So when Yeshua was asked about the end, he said, the days shall shorten for the elect's sake, for no flesh would survive. Last year in 2020, we had the 20 shortest days ever recorded. So nature itself is showing you that we're in the end. Of course, it also tells you that there's a new world order and that you'll have to take a mark of the beast on your wrist and your forehead, and they're getting you ready for it as the whole world shut down on cue last year. They're scanning your wrist and forehead, and they made you identify yourself with the mask, one letter away from mark to buy, sell, and trade, all in the same year. It's also the most historically accurate compilation that exists. Yeshua is the most historically accurate figure that exists. When's the world going to end? I don't make prophecies like that, man. I don't make predictions. I don't know timelines. It says no man will know the day nor the hour, not even the angels, but you will know the season. What? Church of God. The world. What? Worldwide Church of God. I don't know anything about that. I don't do churches. Churches are dumb. I can't talk too much on it because I'll get terminated off of YouTube. But I'll speak around it. I call it genetic modification. That's my code word. Yeah, the genetic modification is the first of its kind ever publicly available. I certainly wouldn't say that it's safe. The experimental date doesn't end until 2023. Not medical advice, but all the animals died in the study. So I know that's heavy, but I would, not medical advice, not medical advice. Yo, we're in such a free country, I can't even say the word that's most applicable to everyone. But yeah, no, I think it's crazy that the government scared everyone from the air when that's what keeps you alive. And now they're saying, come take this thing that's experimental and then you can breathe again. So I would strongly encourage you not to do it. They're trying to build a new world order. They're going to roll out a digital tracking system to show who has been and who hasn't been. So there's my answer on that. They're building a new world order. It's on the back of your dollar, literally. It says New World Order in Latin on it. That's just a coincidence. You guys are coincidence, dears. $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth, since I'm so crazy for not believing in it. $100 cash. The first question is, how many times does the Earth spin in 24 hours? The easiest question I could think of. In a world. What up, bro? You want to answer them?
Oh.
You gonna try to answer the questions? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You got a question?
I don't got no question.
Oh. How many times does the globe Earth spin every day?
I can't wait for it to end.
You can't wait for it to end?
My life sucks.
Nah, bro, you good. Get right with the Father, bro. You're gonna be good. Don't worry, it's gonna end though. But
There you go.
Thank you.
yeah, you just gotta look up, bro. You can't let him get you down. Anyway, get right with the Father. He changed my life, he'll change yours, but people normally get triggered when they hear that.
I thought you changed my life.
How do you change your life? Submit to him and he'll guide you in life and make you prosper. And people will immediately start to attack you and revile you and call you stupid and call you names, but actually rejoice when that happens, for they did that to all the prophets before you. And actually, even if they go as far as to kill you, you actually get a crown. So anyway, I mean, I have stories I could tell you that are technically anecdotal, but you can't explain them away. I know the Creator's real. I know for a fact the Creator's real. You're a prophet? Did you know the Earth's not a spinning ball in a vacuum? Because you know everything? Then you better, how big is the Earth? If you're a prophet, then you should know how big the Earth is if you know everything. Scriptures actually say you'll never fully measure the Earth. No, you didn't. You're trolling. But I get it. That's what most people do whenever the seriousness of this conversation sets in, which is that you had to be created. And that means you have a spirit. And that means there's moral accountability and a linear code of ethics. Yeah, so you can't just go around doing whatever you want to because there's a creator. So he knows the difference between right and wrong. You don't get to make up your own fairy tale stories. The necessary antecedent to creation is a creator. The Earth is geocentric, means the center of everything. The Earth's not moving, it's the center of everything that exists, which means it had to be placed there. So anyway, there's something called a firmament. I'm going to try my best not to trigger people here, but a rainbow requires a reflective surface. That's why you know there's something on top of us, containing us. That's the only way you could have a rainbow. It's a reflective surface. We're actually told that we're shown that, so we'll know that the Earth will never flood again. This is because whenever the Earth flooded, the gates of heaven actually opened up, i.e. the firmament, and then the water came in. So when you see it fully connected from beginning to end, that's showing you physical, empirical evidence that it can't flood right then because there's still a solid container that's all the way connected. So the only way you could have a rainbow is a reflective surface. It's like literally just, I don't know, a fact. Like people get so triggered, but they don't know anything about this. I'll give you $100 cash if you can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth if I'm so crazy for not believing in it. No strings attached. You get the answers wrong, you don't got to pay me any money. No one gets the bread though. I only give away participation money on occasion. 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. The simplest questions you can think of. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours? And I do this to make a point. If you think I'm crazy because I think the Earth is flat, you should at least know what it is that I'm crazy for not believing in, right? But you don't. Again, it's like if someone tells me that the Bible's real, but they never read Genesis. Like, you don't even know what your book says yet. How are you going to tell me it's real? You're so crazy you don't think the Earth's a ball that spins in a vacuum. What are you, some flat earther? Oh, okay. Well, can you tell me about the Earth that spins in a vacuum? No. I don't know anything about it, but you're crazy. I saw a cartoon when I was 8. NASA admits they can't go back to the moon. They said they destroyed the technology and it's a painful process to build it back. The only time that we supposedly went to the moon was with Nazis.
Why is it called a black hole?
Why is it called a black hole? I don't know. It's just pseudoscience, to be honest. I think that they're kind of playing on what could be in the center, but that's speculation. They admit that black holes aren't real pictures, that they're just computer-generated images based on mathematical constructs, so they're not even real. No such thing as a black hole in space. It just has to be there to try to explain that the Earth is in the center of everything and that we're all spinning around something else, which is all pseudoscience. Okay, the satellites, there you go. The non-existent satellite industry, that's not bad. So the truth is that most people think that there are a bunch of satellites going around in space vacuums. The truth is that they have something called satelloons. So you can actually go to NASA's own website. They admit that they use balloons. NASA is the #1 purchaser of helium in the world. They buy 90% of the world's helium. So whenever there was a Google Loon project, we had to give internet to people in remote areas. The only way we could do this was to put up a fleet of balloons to give them internet. I thought we had satellites in space, bro. So the truth is that we don't have satellites in space, and there's been dozens of times that we've actually seen these quote-unquote satellites falling out of the sky attached to balloons. They've been recorded dozens of times. So yeah, I mean, just high-altitude balloons, that's why they buy so much helium. There's not some space vacuum where things free fall around it. That's dumb. But yeah, we do have things up in the sky that stay up there. They coordinate signals. 99% of all transmissions come from towers and underground sea cables and wires. So they admit that 99% of all transmissions come from underground sea cables and wires and towers. So when people are like, oh, I have GPS, you stupid flat earther. Yeah, GPS doesn't use a satellite, you crazy person. It uses towers. And occasionally it'll signal one to a balloon that's up high in a fleet. Occasionally. Right? And actually GPS was long predated before they said there were satellites up there, the use case for GPS. You actually have to assume the Earth is flat to even map it out. It's called a coordinate system.
Praise God.
Praise Yah. Yeah. I don't say God, but I feel you. Much love. Praise Yah. That's actually the Babylonian deity for fortune and luck, and that's why it's on the back of your dollar, because they worship Babylon. In God we trust. And then you'll see that it says, favors our undertakings in New World Order in Latin. Who favors the undertakings? God, the Babylonian deity. And they're going to build a New World Order. Which is why they shut the whole world down last year, by the way. They're just getting ready to build their New World Order.
Whoa.
Lo siento. In a world where no one knows what the world is. My YouTube is WitsitGetsIt. WITSIT. The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat, not a spinning ball. Yeah. My YouTube is WitsitGetsIt. WITSIT gets it. GETSIT. Until it's of course kicked off. And if you don't type it in perfectly, you won't find it. Same on IG, even though I never get on there. It is what it is. You gave him one of those things? Yeah. Yeah, WitsitGetsIt till I get kicked off. Hopefully they don't flag this one, you never know. They're coming for Austin, yeah, because I'm spitting that fire, bro. I'm gonna talk to my chat for a little bit, but if anybody has any questions, like, feel free to come answer, or come ask them, I can answer them. If anybody thinks they have some stump the flat earther questions I can't answer, come hit me up, you won't be able to do that. I debate astrophysics professors, aerospace engineers, typically like 3 or 4 or 5 on one. So, you know, I'm certainly not scared of someone that won't even get the free $100. And if you have genuine questions, we're here to answer. The truth is that this changes everything. You should have tons of questions. You should ask about what would be the theoretic edge. You should ask about what's over top of us. You should ask how big the Earth is. You should ask where the land technically is relative to the center. You should ask how deep it goes then. You should ask all these questions, right? That's what the logical next step is. You can't go further than 7.8 miles, deepest hole ever dug. You can't go past 60 south latitude to even find the theoretic edge. There has to be something that contains this. According to all declassified military documents, it's roughly around 60 to 70 miles up. You can't go past that. Also, there's thousands of declassified documents from the military that say that the Earth is flat. So when the government comes out and tells you with thousands of documents that the Earth is flat, maybe, just maybe, you should wake up. It says the military technology requires the assumption the Earth's a flat, non-rotating surface. There's also another document you can look up. It's called Electromagnetic Propagation Over a Flat Earth. This is how they use towers as a weapon system, ground weapon system, right? They have to assume the Earth's a dielectric plane. It's a flat, non-rotating surface. Guess why they're called planes? Because they fly over a plane. So to fly a plane, you have to assume there's a flat, non-rotating surface. To shoot missiles, you have to assume there's a flat, non-rotating surface. Whenever the military has to go get the bad guys, guess what they do? They have to project a map central to their location on a flat surface. So when people's lives are at stake and they have to go get the quote-unquote bad guys, or typically people we just set up with false information, they actually have to assume the Earth is flat. There's something called a railgun that shoots over 100 miles the military has. Literally impossible on a globe. It doesn't account for any drop of the Earth, right? It only accounts for the drop trajectory of the bullet. 100 miles using line of sight alone. So something's not adding up.
Y'all got anything else you think I should talk about?
I'm gonna take a break so I can drink a little bit of water. If anybody has any questions, they can come up here and ask it. If you're genuinely curious. What?
Still $100.
Yeah, and still, if anybody chooses to come up here, they can get $100 cash, no strings attached, if you answer 3 questions about the globe Earth correctly. And I'll even tell you what the first one is. You can use your dumb phone. You ready? All right. How many times does the globe Earth spin every day?
The ball?
Yeah.
45.
1 time. Sorry, brother.
Give me another.
All right. How far away is the sun?
Far.
That's far. Yeah, that's technically right. Yeah, I saw the eclipse too.
I just want 10 hours for me and my daughter. That's it. Me and my girl. That's it.
Do you have change from that water?
I'm a single father.
I'm gonna go with you just because you got the I love Jesus, even though Jesus wasn't his name. You don't have
I
that.
know Yahweh.
Yahweh's not his name either. That tracks back to Jupiter. It's more like Yehovah.
So what's the name then?
Yehovah or Yahuwah, and the Messiah's name is Yeshua.
Oh, okay. Wow. I hate that.
There you go, brother. Yep.
Ashura.
Yeshua. Yep.
Yehovah.
Yehovah, Yeshua, Yehoshua. All right, why are we so crooked? All right, I'm gonna take a break and try and get this not looking so wild anyway. But like I said, $100 cash. Anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. The first one is how many times does the Earth spin every day? I just gave the answer on the microphone, so you already know the first answer. So pretty easy stuff. I'm not gonna ask you the sun again as the second one because I know someone probably Googled it. But $100 cash, we get them right. You wanna play, bro? Sweet. I'll just ask, so we technically do 3. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours? 1, that's right. What's the circumference of the Earth? How big is the Earth? In miles.
Don't know.
Tough one, yeah. 24,901.
But the sun is 93 million miles.
You're right, yeah, it's 93 million miles, yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, it's all good. Thanks for playing, bro. I would have taken 25,000. I'll take anything that gets pretty close. But yeah, the sun's supposedly 93 million miles away. It's called an astronomical unit, but of course it's changed 6 times in the last 100 years, so they have to update it every time the model's wrong. All right, I'm taking a break. I gotta drink some water. First down, a magic spinning cartoon ball. Get right with the pilot. They're conditioning for the market, the beast, and nesting and the pressure is contained in the second law of thermodynamics. Says the entropy will increase, pressure will fill the available space, and systems will seek spontaneous equilibrium. You couldn't have a pressurized system adjacent to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr. It's literally impossible. All right. What's up, guys? All right, I'm gonna try to get it where this is not so like not even. In a world. All right, so we just told this. You can like, I guess if you want to, because it's gonna be on you. You can like.
Probably pretty hard. There's a Starbucks right over there. Go.
No, I'm not gonna take this with me, but get some fluids, please, dear man. Yeah, I'm about to drink some water and then I'm gonna go use the bathroom real fast. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Chris is gonna stay with everything, so just show people how many people are here. I guess I'll be right back.
I'm letting Polo G know.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth pairing.
joke. Whole month. What a joke. All these people. Everything wearing masks. Wow. No?
It's all good. I'll hold it.
Bluetooth connected.
Play your song. What are you doing? I don't know. What a clown. Was that you? Yo, someone was trying to connect to it, like trolling me.
Now you think you wanna rock it, twirl, so everything. There is just a portion, it's true, distorted, criminal, the forceful, but the force in the simple that we absorb and quick. Took the people singing, shouldn't mean extorted it, unfortunate, abusing, cause informing to informant them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages, credit account and mortgages. Now like I supported with, fortress is the worst important, is important, ships important, this is important.
Wrap it up.
Foreign tricks, we're ignoring which informant, this informant, this.
This is where they get triggered.
We were snorting tricks. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilifying those as subordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in the field. That's what is real. Wonder isn't real. Rappers act and say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. Guess for Israel, wonder is it real?
It's not real, bro. It's not real. Alright. I gotta stay connected. Someone was trying to connect to my thing and play stupid music. I see a super chat. Let me read it. What makes you think hell is not eternal when so many verses say it is? Also, arms are looking swole. Have you been hitting the gym? I do push-ups. I don't lift weights. But thanks for the super chat and I guess the compliment. And it says that the fire is eternal, right? Well, you get thrown in there and then you cease to exist. And also, like, there's an eternal punishment of pain, effectively, but it's not necessarily for us. It's for the rebellious ones. So that's where I'm at. It consistently says the fire is eternal, not that you eternally sit there and burn, though. So there you go. I'm not trying to get in some like theology debate, man. I answered the question. Okay, so we're trying to tilt this back some. Oh, this is where the pentagram wearers are gonna try to come and harass me. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Wow, thank you for the very generous donation on Super Chat. Smarto Go. Thank you, man. Much love. That means a lot. It says 100, but the amount didn't change, but whatever. Thank you. Fam, I'm shadow banned. I feel you, bro. So am I. Talk about 9/11. Okay. That's not a bad idea. Let me drink some more water. I do, but I mean, what am I supposed to do? All right, I'll just do it.
In a world. Hey, you guys don't actually have to wear those anymore. You don't actually need the government's permission to breathe oxygen. Oh, we're gonna flatten the curve in 2 weeks. I guess that's over a year. All hell Biden. He said we can breathe oxygen again as long as we take what they gave us. You guys don't have to wear that. I'm just saying though. Since when do we blindly believe the government and everything that they say? That's dumb. Speaking of, let's talk about some of the stuff the government's clearly lied about. This is New York City, right? So there was a pretty infamous quote-unquote terrorist attack that happened here on 9/11. So I'm gonna talk about it. I don't really care if people get triggered. So the day before 9/11, the Pentagon came out and said that we were mysteriously missing $2.1 trillion. The very next day was 9/11, and supposedly a plane hit the Pentagon and hit the very area that money would have been documented in. That seems legit. Let me say that again. The day before 9/11, the Pentagon came out and said that we were mysteriously missing $2.1 trillion. The very next day, on 9/11, supposedly a plane hit the very area of the Pentagon that would have had that money documented in it. What a coincidence. Oh, and apparently a passport popped out of the explosion and floated down to ground zero and showed us where the bad guy was. Believe it or not, paper burns up in fire. Yeah, so I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm saying what they said happened definitely didn't happen. Oh, and coincidentally on the day, at the very same time, there was actually an exercise the military was running in case planes were hijacked. That's why they didn't notice that they were off their path, because they thought it was the exercise that they were coincidentally running on the same day at the same time. Oh, and then we got weapons of mass destruction intel, and now they've admitted that that was false intel, so we went to war for false intel. That's what the US government does. They lie and they start wars. Say again. Are you talking to me? Sorry. My bad. In a world where no one knows what the world is. So yeah, I mean, I'll tell you something else that most people don't know about 9/11. There was actually a group of people that were arrested on 9/11. Okay, they were undercover in a moving van. They were on a building across from the World Trade Centers, and whenever it got hit, they started jumping up and down cheering. Okay, someone called in on them, and they got arrested. They're called the Dancing Israelis. This has actually been admitted through the Freedom of Information Act, declassified. Okay, well, when they arrested these Dancing Israelis, which means that they were part of the Mossad Israeli intel group, they were staked out for hours, smoking cigarettes, taking pictures the day before with a lighter up to the World Trade Centers, laughing. And whenever they got hit, they started laughing and cheering. They got arrested because someone called in on them. And they were caught with hundreds of thousands of dollars cash spread out throughout them, and they all had plane tickets to different places in the world. They all refused to take polygraph tests. None of their stories lined up, and we didn't even put them on trial. We sent them back to Israel and didn't even try them for crimes. And guess where we got the weapons of mass destruction intel from? Israel. And then George Bush comes out and says, oh, as a joke, weapons of mass destruction, oh, no weapons over there, huh? Yeah, that's so funny, George Bush, that thousands and thousands of people died because of your lie. That's so funny. So this city's infamous for one of the biggest propaganda efforts ever by the government. Believe it or not, passports don't pop out of fire explosions and float down to show you where the bad guy is. The government does nothing but lie. When I tell them they were lied to about the nature of the earth and you can't go to space and they're lying, they're like, what? Why would the government lie? I'm like, dude, why would the government not lie? In fact, can you tell me when the government hasn't lied? The government always lies. Knowledge is power. It's more powerful if you're the only one with it. The chat wanted me to talk about 9/11, so I did. Almost everything that they say in the mainstream's a lie. So most of you guys, you wake up every morning, you fix your cup of coffee, and then you watch the news. Right? And you're like, I watch CNN. And the other guys are like, I watch Fox News. Oh yeah, I'm better than both of you. I watch MSNBC. They're all controlled by the CIA. It's declassified. It's called Operation Mockingbird. Declassified. You can read it. It's from the 70s, 1972. Just over 600 pages. I read it. And it says that the CIA took over the mainstream media so that they could control the public narrative to be consistent with their geopolitical agenda at the time. When asked in Congress, are you saying that some of the anchors are CIA agents? The CIA representative responded, Jeez Louise. In a world. We can hear you guys. Hey, the earth is flat, it's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. Donald Trump's a psychopath and every other US president is all kin to English royalty. Why are we flying that flag around? I'm just saying. This is where people really get triggered. Well, I had people that are my homies that died, you know, and we supposedly celebrate that they died for our freedom on Memorial Day, and everyone here is still taking orders from the freaking government. You don't know what my friends died for is that we don't take orders from the government, and that this is a free country, and that we have the Constitution, which is an articulation of our rights given to us by the Creator. You don't get rights and freedom from the government. The earth is flat, the earth is flat, the earth is flat. Intermission, obviously. Oh, that was anticlimactic. Anyway.
We gotta get one of these two ways with the background. So I think we should go that way.
Are you going to face that way?
I guess.
Lo siento. Yeah. There's not a magic spinning cartoon ball. I'm giving $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. Since I'm so crazy, I think the Earth is flat. You don't even know what you think I'm crazy for not believing in. $100 cash, no strings attached. Easiest questions I could think of. The first one is how many times does the Earth spin every 24 hours? I know every one of the answers off the top of my head. You guys know nothing about it, but I'm crazy for not believing in it because NASA went to the moon in 1969. But anyway, I want to finish telling you guys about this. The CIA admitted, right, that they control the mainstream media. It's called Operation Mockingbird. Whenever asked about this in Congress, they said, are you saying that the news anchors are CIA agents? The CIA representative said, and I quote, we're going to have to continue this conversation behind closed doors. Yeah, the news anchors on mainstream news are CIA agents, and the government came out and admitted it, and you guys still believe whatever they say. And you think I'm crazy, but you've never read Operation Mockingbird, never heard of it, don't know anything about it, didn't see them in the deposition in front of Congress, but I'm crazy. It's just like how you think the Earth's a spinning ball in a vacuum, but you know nothing about it. I've studied it for 5 years. I've gone out and tested it. I've been kicked off Venmo, PayPal, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, because I speak the truth. And the truth is that they said that in Congress they censor flat Earth because it's dangerous misinformation. And if you Google flat Earth, you will find no real flat earthers. You will only see 10 reasons we know the Earth's not flat, and you'll see something called the Flat Earth Society, which does the dumbest things known to man, so you think flat Earth is stupid. So if flat Earth actually is stupid, why would they have to lie about what we actually say? $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth, since I'm crazy for not believing in it. It's like someone telling me they know the Bible's real, but they've never read Genesis. I'm not going to listen to someone's opinion about the Bible if they've never read Genesis. I'm not going to listen to your opinion about the Earth if you don't even know what they claim it is. So, you call me a conspiracy theorist, a term created by the CIA, by the way. Admittedly so. But anyway, yeah, I theorize about when they conspire, whatever. You're a coincidence theorist. I said this earlier, but there's new people over here. So there's something called the number of the beast. It's 666. Most of you guys have heard of it. Well, the people that lied about the Earth, they're Luciferian Freemasons and other groups of people. They're Luciferians, admittedly so, in their own literature. They're Luciferians. If you ever heard of Lucifer. So anyway, let's see how many times the globe Earth motto has 666 in it, just coincidentally. Okay, so the diameter of the moon, which is 250,000 miles away, is 2,160. That's 6 times 6 times 60. The supposed circumference of the globe Earth in nautical miles is 21,600. That's 6 times 6 times 600. There's something called the North and South Arctic circles. They're at 66.6 degrees. Supposedly, the answer to everything that you guys can't answer is gravity. The number for gravity is 6.666. And this was discovered by Isaac Newton, supposedly, whenever an apple fell on his head in 1666. We're on a 66.6 degree tilt while we go around the sun 66,600 miles per hour. And there's a curvature rate of 0.666 feet per mile squared. You guys think that's all a coincidence? It's impossible for that to all be a coincidence. It's statistically impossible. In addition, they say that the sun is actually 400 times bigger than the moon. It just coincidentally exactly 400 times further away also. So they look like they're the same size so we can have perfect eclipses. You know what the other option is that the sun and the moon are the same size. Also, what they claim eclipses are is not true. We just had a solar eclipse, right? So us flat earthers are the one that always document around the Earth, while you guys just watch it on YouTube or whatever. But anyway, so what they say that a lunar eclipse is that the Earth blocks the light from the sun and casts a shadow onto the moon. There's something called the Selenilian eclipse, which is a type of lunar eclipse where both the sun and the moon are up above the horizon during the eclipse. How is the Earth blocking the sun onto the moon if they're both above the Earth during the eclipse? It's all good. Y'all got my back. The Father got my back. No weapon shall prosper, bro. Anyway. So, it's called the impossible eclipse. NASA admits they can't even use the heliocentric model to predict eclipses. They still use what's called the Saros cycle, which was created in 2500 BC by the Chaldeans, who, of course, knew the Earth was a geocentric stationary plane. So they still have to use flat earthers' cycle to predict eclipses. I thought we'd been to space, bro. And you guys just blindly believe NASA, which means to deceive in Hebrew, has a snake's tongue through its logo, and is of course an anagram for Satan, just like Santa is, by the way, but it's missing the T. Okay, well, conveniently, when they shoot rockets up, they say T minus, so they minus the T. They're Luciferians. Now, I know that a lot of you guys are going to think that sounds crazy because you're coincidence theorists, but that's not my problem. It literally means to deceive in Hebrew, bro. They're deceiving you. It also means to lift up. So they claim they lift up, go to space, and deceive you. But anyway, so NASA actually brought scientists over here that were Nazis in Operation Paperclip. Everything I say is verifiable and declassified. I thought we hated Nazis. I thought they mass murdered millions of innocent people. I thought we were the opposite of Nazis. But why do we buddy with them and bring them over here in Operation Paperclip, and supposedly they're the one that took us to the moon? Werner Van Braun, an SS officer. Most people were like, oh, they were just innocent scientists, though. They weren't the people killing people. No. He was an SS officer of the Nazi regime. And we brought him over here, put him in charge of space exploration. He supposedly took us to the moon in 1969. We just can't go back. I guess we're fresh out of Nazis. That's why we can't go back. NASA admits we can't go back. They say it's too dangerous. We just got lucky and went through there like 6 or 7 times between 69 and 72. And they said that they destroyed the technology and it's a painful process to build it back. Direct quote from world-renowned astronaut Don Pettit. They also said that they destroyed and lost all the telemetry data, which would be the evidence that proved that they went. They also claim that they brought moon rocks back and gave them to different countries' governments. They tested the rocks. They were actually petrified wood. How many different things do you can just watch the moon landing and know it's fake. It's the dumbest lie ever. The flag's moving. These people just fall on the ground and get jerked back up by harnesses. The shadows don't line up with where the supposed light should be coming from. It's a joke. You know why? Because everyone had black and white TVs. They knew they could fake it. They can't fake it anymore. We got 4K in our pocket. They can't fake the moon landing again. That's why they haven't quote-unquote gone back. And they admit they can't go back. So we give NASA $60 million a day and they can't go back to the moon, but they did it in 1969. And whenever we ask for real pictures of the Earth from space, they admit that they're just cartoons on their own website. Computer-generated images, CGI, artist renditions, cartoons. So most people walk up to me and they're like, what is this then? And they show me like a picture of the Earth. I'm like, dude, NASA's own website says that's a cartoon, bro. It's like you believe in Star Wars and you're asking me like, prove Star Wars isn't real. Your entire worldview is dependent upon Nazis going to the moon in cartoons. So anyway, we give NASA $60 million a day and they still can't go back. They also say that global warming is a real thing. Well, for one, there's no such thing as a globe. They changed it to climate change, which is painfully redundant. Climate's change, that's what the word climate means. Okay? In a world. You think the Earth's a ball, bro? I might have to freestyle if he starts making a beat. So anyway, the Earth's not a magic spinning cartoon ball. They lied to you. The Earth doesn't move. Do you feel like the Earth is moving? Unless you've been chugging tequila, you don't feel like the Earth is moving. Is the Earth moving? Do you feel like the Earth is moving? Whenever I fly a drone, is the Earth moving underneath it? No, it stays in the same location the whole time I hover the drone. Whenever you get really drunk and you get the spins because you lay down, what do they tell you to do to stop spinning? To roll over and put your feet on the Earth so you can stop spinning? Yeah, because the Earth doesn't spin. The Earth is still. The sky moves over top of you. For all recorded history in concentric circles around Polaris, the North Pole Star, megalithic structures built by the Egyptians still line up to the same stars they did thousands of years ago. Oh, but you don't know any of this, but I'm crazy. I debate astrophysics professors. There's something called the second law of thermodynamics. It necessitates that pressure will fill the available space, entropy will increase, systems seek spontaneous equilibrium. So simply, whenever you have a soda, right, it's fresh because it's carbonated and it has built up pressure and it's sealed very tightly. When you open the soda, it goes psh. That's because it equalizes to the lower pressure around it instantly. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. High pressure goes to low pressure. Heat goes to cold. It's a natural law. It happens every time for all recorded history. How could you have a pressurized system, which is how you guys are breathing oxygen, at least some of you guys? How could you have a pressurized system sitting next to a near-perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr without a container? It would immediately fill the vacuum. Vacuums don't suck the air off. The air would fill the vacuum, immediately migrating to the lower pressure. What they define space as cannot exist, and they had to define it that way to even come up with the mathematical way it could be a ball in a little heliocentric model. They had to say that it was a vacuum. There can be no substance, even though now that they've actually applied the theory of relativity to the quote-unquote universe, it's off by 95%. They call it dark matter and dark energy. I'm crazy for not believing your stupid little religion with no evidence that's still off by 95%. And I literally debate aerospace engineers, what people would call rocket scientists. I debate astrophysics professors. None of them can answer this. This is not because I'm not bragging. I'm just saying they're trying to debate something that's literally not debatable. It's called the second law. Okay, fluid statics. Let me show you guys. Fluid statics says water always finds its level. You see how the water's level? It's still level, still level, still level. It always finds its level. It's called fluid statics. Water always finds its level. That's why we put fluid in levels to build things like houses. That's why we call it sea level, so we can get elevation. Water always finds its level. How is 70% of a ball level? They say the Earth's 71% ocean. How is 70% of a ball level? Oh no, this is the one time in the history of mankind that water bends around the outside of a spinning sphere in a vacuum. Just trust me. Gravity. Gravity's like your God, right? Like, this is a religion, and when you can't answer a question, you just say gravity, right? Well, that doesn't work. First of all, there's no empirical evidence for gravity. I guess that helium balloons are gravity proof, because whenever I make a helium balloon, it goes straight up. Where's gravity at then? You know why the helium balloon goes up? Because it's lighter than the air around it. It's called density. So the reason you're on the ground, you're more dense than the air. If I throw a beach ball up, it falls down because it's more dense than the air. If I take it to the bottom of a pool and let go of it, it goes up because it's less dense than the water. It's called density. Density disequilibrium, right? Well, some people are listening. So I guess butterflies and helium balloons are gravity proof. Gravity doesn't exist. You want to know why gravity is supposedly a thing? Because the Earth couldn't be a ball without gravity, okay? It's called omnidirectionality. You have to stick to the ball in all directions, or you'd fall off. So there has to be an immense power pulling you down, or you couldn't even pretend that the Earth could be a ball. So they say, well, we can't prove gravity. We have no evidence for it. We can't come up with a theory that works, but it has to be there because the Earth has to be a ball. You know what the other option is? The Earth's not a ball. So yeah, the Earth's not a magic spinning ball in a vacuum. I'm giving $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about it, but no one has the balls to come over here and do it. And to be honest, I feel you, bro, because you know you don't know. What's up?
I think I can answer that. 3 questions?
Okay, first question is the easiest one I can think of. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours?
1 time.
1 time, that's right. What's the circumference of the Earth?
That's around, right?
Like the area around the circular sphere.
23,901 miles.
23,901 is pretty close to 24,901, but I'll give it to you. Someone might get the money. What degree tilt are we on?
23.4.
23.4. I'm giving him $100. Someone finally got it. I don't know how long you've been here, but I'm giving it to you anyway. There you go, bro. Okay, you want to keep asking? No, you got it. No, you got it. Why?
I don't need it.
Have you been here hearing the answers?
I haven't been here, but I watch your live stream.
Oh, you watch my live streams. Oh, what's up, bro? Oh, it's a flat earther. Of course the only one that gets the money is a flat earther.
You literally just took my life. I came here and now we're away just to do the same thing.
Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up, bro? Oh, nice to see you, bro.
It's good to me. Let me have it.
You got to answer the questions. Thank you, brother. Much love. You're like that, Stacey. I'm like, what's going on, dude? These guys, see, flat earthers are the only ones that know the answers.
I'm with him.
Dude, yeah. He beat you to it? Dude, what's up, brother?
What's going on?
Chilling, man.
I'm going to enjoy the show.
Dude, how far away is the sun? That's the whole point, though. That's like, only the flat earthers actually research this. That's how we know the earth is flat.
So that's only 1 question I gotta answer?
Nah, you gotta get 3 right. You gotta get that one right first.
You gotta get 1 right?
Yeah.
How far is the sun?
Yep.
5,000 million miles?
No, 93 million. Thanks for trying, though.
What's the next question?
What's the radius of the earth? That's the distance from the center to the edge.
Just want to say I appreciate what you do.
What's this photo like?
What's what?
What's this photo?
I just know that people think the Earth's a ball, but they know nothing about it. And we tested the Earth. The Earth's flat. The Earth's flat. Yeah, they lie.
It's gotta be flat.
It is flat. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
and it's not moving.
It's not moving.
Yeah, that's why we don't feel like we're moving, bro.
No, I'm saying it might move out like.
No. It doesn't move. You know, the sky moves over top of us. Nah, the Earth don't move, bro. Do what? There's something containing the gas pressure, or we wouldn't be able to breathe. So there's something over top of us as a container. You can't leave here, is what I'm saying. No one goes to space. Just governments claim they do, but they can't. They're lying. Yeah, for sure. I've been testing it for 5 years. Yeah, you can prove it's not a ball. You can actually measure the surface. It doesn't curve. We see mountains from 200 miles away. They should have been blocked by a mile of earth curve, but you can see the whole mountain. They lied. But the government always lies, bro. So. Awesome. Witsit. Yeah, much love. I thought someone finally got the bread, bro. He got me, bro.
You guys told me somebody was gonna do that too.
I was like, dang, bro, I just got no answers, bro. You was about to do me wrong dirty. That's hilarious, bro. That's hilarious. Isn't that funny that only flat earthers know the answers, but we're the crazy ones? It's not a big deal. Like, just go research it. Just open your mind and go research it. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean go get on Google and say, how do we know the Earth's not flat? That's not honest research, right? And actually, if you really want to do it the right way, you're going to go test the surface of the Earth. You're going to see if it's curving. Because if the surface of the Earth isn't curving anywhere, what is it? It's flat, exactly. And it's not curving anywhere. It's not curving in Florida. It's not curving in New York. It's not curving in Kansas or Tennessee or Australia or Japan or China. So if it's not curving anywhere, what is it? How is 70% of a ball flat in the world? I'm actually going to drink a little bit of water and take another break. My man's about to hit me with the feet. Surface. I was about to start spitting. But I'm going to take a little break. If anybody else wants to try to come up and get that $100, the flat earther's trying to hit me to do me dirty. But yeah, $100 cash, anybody gets the answers right. No one knows the answers. You can't go to space. The government lied. The government always lies. It's a medium that couldn't exist. The sky moves over top of you. It's beautiful. It's a clock. You're special. You have a spirit, okay? You're not just some random speck of dust that came from apes. You have a spirit. The Creator made you, and He loves you, and He made you individual and special. This earth is very special as well. It's the center of everything. Everything didn't come from nothing, okay? So if the earth is the center of everything, someone had to create it. Chill. All right, I'm gonna take a break. All this beats and drums, but I gotta drink some water anyway. But yeah, seek and speak truth. Just look for the truth. Look, the truth is, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you go down this path and you really want to know the truth, people are gonna start attacking you. People are gonna start making fun of you. But that's what weak people do. Be the strong person that stood up for the truth, right? No matter what it was, right? Because everyone used to be cool with slavery, bro. If you're just going to do what majority of people do, you're never going to be right. Majority of people are still scared of the air a year after they said it'd take 2 weeks, okay? So the truth is, you got to stand up and speak the truth no matter what it is. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance, which means that weak-minded people that don't know anything and are ignorant, they're going to attack you. So they're going to project their own insecurity, their own intellectual insecurity onto you. Don't be that guy. Be the person that actually knows what you're talking about. That's why I stand up here with thousands of people toe-to-toe and none of them can debate me. It's because I actually research it. So just knowledge is power.
Only been 10 minutes? Yeah, but my mouth is so dry, bro. What's up, bro?
Yeah. What would be the incentive for a non-flat earth?
What would be the incentive to lie?
Yeah, what is the incentive to lie?
Well, if the earth is the center of everything, it had to be created. So they hid the creator. They get tons of money, $60 million every day at NASA, so they lie for money. There's something called the Antarctic Treaty. You can't go past 60 south latitude, so they could be hiding land, like huge pieces of land. So that's a big reason. And they told you that everything came from nothing and that you're a tiny speck of dust. But if the Earth's the center of everything, it had to be created. So there's 3 big reasons that they lied. I mean, the government admits to declassified information that the Earth is flat. Yeah, there's thousands of patents that tell you that the Earth's flat that the military uses. Sure, yeah. Do you have a phone?
No. So this is his,
or a pen or anything?
WitsitGetsIt? You're on YouTube?
Yeah. For now. All right, cool, brother. Much love. I don't care if people dump money in there. Where'd they go?
I got his number. He wants to talk to you. He wants to hook up with Eli. He wants to. Cool. I can't find any flat earthers in New York. I would love to go out on the street and do this.
Why are these people just sitting around? Because maybe they're actually interested. Oh, I forgot about Globebusters. Oh, I got 15 minutes. I gotta go live on Globebusters. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you for telling me that. I brought my iPad so I could go live here. All right, I love you guys. Thanks for kicking it. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. You know how it is. If you want to support the tour, masqueradetour.com, $WitsitGetsIt on Cash App, Whitsitt at protonmail.com. And I'll catch up with you later. I'm gonna have to go get on Globebusters. Much love, peace.